Hello, I'm Dr. Sheldon Cooper. Welcome to Sheldon Cooper Presents Fun with Flags.
Hello, people of the world. It's me, Jack, and today we're going to have some fun with some flags. How many flags, you ask? Well, today I'm going to be officially ranking 285 flags spread across the world. But of course, many of you vexillological freaks and nerds in the comments are typing right now going, "But Jack, there are only 197 official UN flags." First of all, fuck you. And second of all, I'm no basic bitch. I see all these tier lists ranking flags, and they're always of these 197 countries. Of course, some of them are good, but of course, that's basic, How can you learn something from that? And so, I've gone for the liberty, and I've given some sauce, some pizzazz to this presentation, and I've added an additional 88 territories. Territories, districts, regions, autonomous communities spread across the world, many of which you people would never have heard before. Of course, this video is going to be long, as I'll be ranking all 285 of these flags according to these six letters, I should say. And many of you are clicking off, thinking this video is going to be too long. And to those of you doing that as I speak right now, go ahead. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you come to a future video. But of course, there are a minority of you watching this video right now thinking, I'd love to learn about my flag, or the flag of my neighbour, or the flag of my friend. And to those of you people, sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, or your country's equivalent, and hopefully I'll talk about your flag, in a justifiable way. But of course, I'm not some all-knowing god who knows everything about everything, so I'm bound to miss a tidbit, Maybe it's the colour, the symbol, maybe I've even got the wrong flag, or given the flag the wrong country name. And to those of you people who I will inevitably offend, sorry, please don't hunt me down. And I hope that I, talk about your country, talk about interesting facts, this and that. And of course, for the things I miss, the things I glaze over, or the things that I've just outright not talked about, please feel at liberty to talk about it in the comments. Leave a fact, maybe give a shout out from your country, maybe, grill me, please go ahead. But of course, flags are a political item. They represent a country, and not every country is, good. The flag can represent oppression, a dictatorship. Maybe it's a flag that people of that particular country despise, and for those people, I'm sorry. But of course, to alleviate, all the controversy that I'm going to inevitably bring upon myself, I'll be only judging these flags on face value. I won't go into, the country's status or their culture or their language, I won't completely fucking roast the country before I roast their flag, no. I'll only judge the flags on face value, the colour, the aesthetic, the layout, and first of all, most of all, on my personal preference. Of course, that video would be boring. So with every flag, I've included facts, meanings of symbols, of colours. And I hope, you find your flag, you learn something new. And of course, to facilitate viewing, I'll include, a bigger version of the flag on the screen. Their location, this and that. And I hope, you enjoy the video. Of course, I'll stutter, I'll swear, I'll butcher your country's names, and, I'll probably get the colours wrong and the meanings of the symbols, but, just have some fun, laugh at me, roast me, do whatever the fuck you want, swear at me in your language in the comments, or, tell, your country's better than this country. I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. I'm just here to rank some flags. And, ironically, our first flag is not actually a country. It's well, this flag of course is Abkhazia. It is of course located in the South Caucasus and is recognized as well by virtually everyone as part of Georgia. And to give you, of course, it's recognized by a few countries, namely Russia, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Nauru, and Syria. And yeah, it's not really a country, it's more of, a breakaway region. But, besides that, it's a pretty aesthetically pleasing flag. The lines are even, the colors are good, it's got stars. Fun fact, this hand, it's open, is saying hello to friends, but stop to the enemies, which is, a good meaning. All around, pretty good flag. The green goes good with the red, the stars are even, it's got a hand. Yeah, B. I think B is appropriate. And of course, next off, we have Afghanistan. Of course, many of you in the comments are already flaming me. This isn't actually the flag of Afghanistan. Ever since the Taliban took over, they have a flag, white background, black text. But of course, many people, many Afghanis, see that, as the Taliban flag, and many regard this flag as the true one, which, well, of course, we'll be doing. And, it's got the tricolour, but, of course, many of you are probably wondering what all this stuff on the flag means. Well, first of all, this stuff on the side here is actually wheat, and it includes a shahada, a takbir, has rays of sun, has a mosque, of course, since, Afghanistan is Islam, has a minabar, and of course has the two Afghan flags. Of course, it also has this inscription right down here, of course, is Afghanistan. And yeah, it's a pretty, pretty mid flag, if I do say so myself. It has a lot, I should say. Has, personally, it's a bit too much. Personally, a flag should be, easily drawable, and, well, I don't think, an average child would be able to draw all this stuff. So, C. Put it in C. And so, of course, we have Åland. Of course, many of you probably don't know where this is, but it is an autonomous region of Finland. Of course, it is the smallest, has a population of like 30,000, and it speaks Swedish. Fun fact. And of course, it is based off the Swedish flag. Of course, without the red, we have basically, the Swedish flag. It was embroiled in a war. Fun fact, this small archipelago was involved in a very devastating war. Besides that, Nordic flag has the cross. They speak Swedish. Its population, basically Swedish people, represents the country good. So I'm gonna put that in C. Of course, one of my favorites. We of course have Albania. Albania. Shout out to all my Albanian homies out there. Of course, it's a very good flag. I like this flag a lot. Look at this. The eagle, two-headed eagle. The red background. It's very unique, easily identifiable. It's a very, it's a very strong flag, I should say. If I saw this flag on the battlefield, I'd be scared. So I'm gonna put that in A. Of course, we have Alderney. For those of you who don't know, it's the northernmost Channel Islands. It is a crown dependency it's a part of the bailiwick of Guernsey, and it's got the English flag in the background. It's got a lion, and yeah, that's about it. It's a pretty, it's a pretty mid flag, I should say. It's a flag that, it's got a lion. So, you know what? I'll put that in D. Sorry to all those people who live there, but fuck you. And then we have Algeria. Of course, fun fact, this red crescent, the star, is a symbol of Islam. Fun fact. It's also, seeing as it's in North Africa, it's also the largest nation, and they're predominantly Muslim. So, it's pretty good. It has the green, has the white. as, you know, the red. It's pretty even, you know. It's pretty simple, you know. So I'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have American Samoa. It's an unincorporated territory in the South Pacific. It of course is near, you know, the nation of Samoa. You know, it's very, it's alright. You know, it's got, you know, the American bald eagle because, you know, it's a united unincorporated territory of the US. Also, it also holds two things. Fun fact: this is called a Uatogi. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It's a war club that represents, you know, governmental power, and in the other claw it has a few. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It's a fly whisk. You know, it represents the wisdom of traditional Samoan leaders. Yeah, overall, you know, has the American eagle, you know, colors of the American flag. It has representations of Samoa. So I'll put that in, B. Of course, we have Andorra. It's actually a principality, and for those of you who don't know where this is, I don't blame you. It's a very small country. It's actually landlocked between Spain and France. It's located high up in the mountains. Fun fact: it's ruled by two leaders. One of them being the president of France, which is pretty cool. But you know, overall good flag. You know, it's got the classic European tricolour. It's got the flags. You know, it's got the flag of colours of Catalonia, which is a region, Spanish region, as they speak Catalan. Fun fact too. Yeah. Also, you know, despite being fun fact, it's also one of the 28 national flags that contain Christian symbolism. Of course, you can't see it on here, but of course on the bigger flag you'll see it. It's also the only flag that portrays cattle, except for Moldova's flag, which features the head of a bull. But, you know, this is probably the first flag on the list that falls to what I call the problem of similarity. You see, red, yellow, and blue are not only native to the flag of Andorra. They're also present in the flag of Romania, Moldova, as I mentioned before, and Chad, which means, of course, has the emblem that distinctly, you know, sets it apart from the others. But without it, it would be, you know, vastly similar to the other flags. Yeah, but you know, it's a pretty good flag. You know, it's got, you know, a crest, an emblem. It's got cows, so I'll put that in C. Of course, now we have Angola, located on the west coast of southern Africa. Quite a big country. You know, shout out to my Angolans out there. It also had, you know, horizontal colours of red and black, machete, a gear and a star, 5-pointed star. Fun fact, this was based on the hammer and sickle of the Soviet flag. Of course, you know, Angola came to be in a communist revolution and they received support from the USSR. You know, it's probably one of the better. You know, it doesn't include, you know, yeah, it's simple, doesn't include too much. You know, it's very, you know, communist-y, I should say. And, you know, if this was my flag, you know, I'd be pretty proud of it. So I'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have one of, what I would say, one of the basic bitches. It is, of course, Anguilla. It's a British overseas territory. Many of these overseas territories will be featured in this video, and all of them include this. It's called the Naval Ensign, I believe. Yeah, it's a pretty basic flag. The flag before this, actually, fun fact, featured two mermaids in the name of Anguilla, but, you know, we don't have that anymore, so, you know, it's a pretty basic, it's British, owned by the British, it has dolphins, it's an island, you know, I'll put that in D. Sorry guys, sorry to the Anguillans out there. Next up we have Anguilla and Barbuda. Barbuda, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. You know, probably one of the better Caribbean island flags. It's got the rising sun, got the, you know, the blue, and I'm a fan. I love it. You know, I don't love this flag, but I love this flag. You know, it's very simple, easily to draw. You know, represents the rising sun, the ocean. So, you know, I'll put that in A. And of course, we have Argentina. Probably debatably one of the best flags in South America, alongside Brazil, which of course is featured later. Fun fact: this is Inti, the son of May, which represents the Incan god of the sun, with the Inca being present, of course, in South America. Uh, it's a flag. It's a flag that it's a very simple flag, and get a bit of history here. There was, of course, is the model flag for the Federal Republic of Central America, which of course was a central confederation of modern-day countries of Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. It of course doesn't exist anymore. It ended in 1838. But of course, this flag influenced the 5 countries that became independent afterwards, except Costa Rica. It's also, this sun was also present in the flag of the Philippines, and has also inspired the flags of Uruguay and Paraguay, I should say. Yeah, all around good flag. Yeah, let's put it in an A. Yeah, it's a good flag. And of course, we have Armenia. It's a landlocked country. Shout out to Gladys Berejiklian. She's Armenian. Shout out to her. Got the tricolour. This colour is actually called apricot. Fun fact. It's a pretty good flag. It's simple, but sorry Armenians, but it's a bit basic. And we'll put that in C. And of course, no, there wasn't an error. This is this is the flag of Armenia, as mentioned before. But of course, it is another breakaway region present in the Caucasus. It is Artsakh, I think it's pronounced. It was formerly, the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic. It's a breakaway region, and is recognized as part of Azerbaijan, but is made up of ethnically Armenian population. This white band represents the mountains of the region, and is pointing westward to symbolize an aspiration for a union with Armenia, as mentioned previously. It's also a zigzag, because it represents it as a separate region of Armenia. Yeah, get it? It's also a representation of ornaments and patterns of Armenian carpets. A lot of meaning in a simple zigzag of white. It's tricolour, it's got white. It's basically a rip-off of this flag, but understandable, as both have Armenian population. But let's put that in C. And of course, we have another, probably one of the top tier Caribbean flags, Aruba. It is a country of the Kingdom of Netherlands. This was actually designed by a vexillologist called Whitney Smith, who designed a multitude of Caribbean flags. He was also the man who originated the term of vexillology. So for you vexillologists out there, this guy is basically a patron saint. And it's got the blue, it's got the red star. It's very simple, it's very elegant. That's a B tier flag. Of course, we have another British basic bitch flag. It is of course Ascension Island. It's probably one of the most isolated countries in this tier list. It's located about 1,600 kilometers from the coast of Africa and 2,300 from the coast of South America. It's volcanic, has a very, very small population. British territory. It has turtles, other stuff. But, look at Anguilla here. Practically the same. So, sorry, but you go there. And of course, here it is. The flag of the motherland. Flag of the homeland. The flag of me. Australia. Of course, many of you know where Australia is. Probably one of, probably some bias here, but it's probably one of the best flags to include the British ensign in it, the Jack. But of course, has a Southern Cross. This star here represents, the Federation of Australia, which happened in 1901. 6 points of the star, of course, the 6 points represent the original states of the Commonwealth. The 7th star, of course, represents the future territories of Australia. Fun fact, New Zealand and Fiji, in the Constitution of Australia, can be a part of Australia, so common belief is that this is what this represents. Of course, it has a Southern Cross constellation. It's on many flags in, the Pacific, Oceania region. Yeah, it's an alright flag, We're, a Commonwealth nation. We're a Commonwealth nation. Yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna put this in C. I'll put this in C. Basic. And of course, we have Austria. Austria. Fun fact: the Austria means Southern Kingdom. I'm not sure on the name, but Australia means southern land, coming from the Latin word Australis, and Austria comes from the Latin word meaning Southern Kingdom. So, a bit of relation between there. It's a pretty good flag. It's got red, white. It's also one of the oldest national symbols used by a country. First recorded with use in 1230, which is a fucking long time ago. Probably one of the oldest flags on this list. But it's basic. It's got two colors. It's got three bands. Flip it on its side, it's the flag of Peru. So I'll put that in D. And of course, we have Azerbaijan. Of course, got the Turkish, star and crescent because it's a Turkic country. It's got that, this star, of course, is unique, but of course there are many interpretations. Fun fact: Fatali Khan Koyuski, first Prime Minister of the independent Azerbaijan Democratic Republic, states that each of the 8 points represents the 8 letters of the word Azerbaijan when written in Arabic, which is, pretty cool. There's also another interpretation. It represents, the 8 Turkish peoples, the Azeris, the Ottomans, the Jagatis, the Tatars, the Kazakhs, the Kyrgyz, the Seljuks, and the Turkomans, which, it's pretty cool. I don't think any other flag represents, all their ethnic groups that I can think of right now. Pretty good flag. It's got the tricolour. Colours are pretty cool. So I'll put that in C. And of course, we have a pretty ironic flag, I should say. Of course, the Azores. It's an autonomous region of Portugal. It's a volcanic archipelago. It's about 1,500 kilometers northwest of Morocco. This, of course, it's one of the ironic flags. It's a pretty funny flag. Of course, the name of the archipelago comes from the Portuguese word Açor. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It's meaning goshawk because it was supposedly native to the islands. Ironically, the birds actually never existed there. They're actually a subspecies of a buzzard called bueto bueto that was, identified wrongly. So, the flag has a bird that's not native to the island. The blue and the white's pretty cool. The stars are pretty cool, but, I have to put that in C. Sorry, guys. Of course. Next up, we have the Bahamas. Pretty, it's probably one of the other top tier Caribbean flags. It's got the blue, it's got the yellow, it's got this. It's pretty aesthetically pleasing. I'll put that in B. And of course, next up we have Bahrain. Mistakenly identified as the flag of Qatar, but the flag of Qatar is maroon, has 5 points, and is much longer and larger than the flag of Bahrain. The original Bahrain flag actually had 28 points, 28 of these, but was changed to 8 in 1972, and then was further reduced in 2002 to 5. So that each points could stand for the, because of course Bahrain's an Islamic country, stands for the 5 pillars of Islam. Pretty cool flag, but of course, as I mentioned before, it's mistaken for Qatar a lot. So I'll put that in. It's a hard one. I'm gonna put that in C. Of course, next up we have the flag of Bangladesh, a flag that is also mistaken with the flag of Japan, which also has a red circle, background. And no, this flag, no, your screen's not broken. Yes, this circle is actually off center from the center. See how it leans more to one side? And yes, it was designed this way so it appears centered with the flag is flying. Of course, it's vastly better than the flag that it used to have, which contained, a yellow outline of Bangladesh. And it used to have, which of course had the red circle, yellow Bangladesh, with on both sides, but of course was removed because that's a fucking stupid idea. And yeah, the red is meant to represent a rising sun, much like Japan, and pretty basic. It's got the green, it's got the red, but I mean, the representation is pretty cool, so I'm gonna put that in, C. Now, probably the top tier Caribbean flag, Barbados. It is the most easterly of the Caribbean islands. It's where Rihanna's from, and yes, that is a trident of Poseidon. This, amazing. Of course, it is broken, fun fact, and it's meant to represent the severed tie between Barbados and the UK, which of course was its former colonizer. I love this flag. It's got a trident, it's got the blue, it's got the yellow. It's very, nautical, as Barbados is, well, look at a map, it's completely surrounded by water. And, shout out to my Bajans out there, because that's what people native to Barbados are called. So I'll put that in B. And of course, we probably have arguably the worst flag in Europe. Yeah, Belarus. Yeah, there's a lot to say about this flag. It was introduced in 2012 by the Committee of Standardization in Belarus. It was adapted from a design from May 1995. It of course was a modification of the 1951 flag used while the country was in the Soviet Union. Of course, they got rid of the hammer and sickle, as well as the reversal of colours in the ornament pattern. This pattern is derived from local plants and flowers, and is traditional type used in Belarus. It's also used in woven garments, and is most importantly included in the ruchnik, a woven cloth used for ceremonial events. I don't know what to say. It's a pretty lower tier flag. If it weren't for this, it'd just be red, green, but not even. I mean, the pattern's pretty cool, but sorry, I'm gonna put that shit in D. And next up, we have Belgium. We've got the tricolour, and yes, it is commonly mistaken for the flag of Germany, which of course is striped horizontally and is black, red, and gold instead of the Belgian colours. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's got colours, a tricolour. It's pretty, they're even. But I'll put that shit in C. And now, controversial opinion alert. This is possibly one of the worst flags in the world. Sorry, people of Belize, but this flag is fucking atrocious. It is the only country that depicts humans. Of course, Malta has an image of St. George, and the overseas territories of Montserrat and the Virgin Islands and French Polynesia have it. But this is, I believe, the only one that depicts, two actual human entities, easily identifiable as human. There was no, also even worse, there was no standardized specifications for the flag until 2019. The flag varies. I've seen images of it purple, featuring no colours at all, featuring no humans at all. But overall, this flag is fucking atrocious. There's too much going on. Of course, I know it represents, African population of Belize, and the colonial. It's got a tree, which I believe represents the logging of Belize. But there's too much going on, man. There's too much. So I'll put that, First flag in F. Sorry, Belize. Of course, next up we have Benin. Very thin country, very unknown country. Of course, this flag represents the colours of the Pan-African colours. Represent the flag of Ethiopia, because it's the oldest independent country in Africa, and well, staved off, colonization by European powers. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, they're even. But pretty basic. I'll put that, in C. Of course, we have another British overseas territory. Of course, Bermuda. I think this one's pretty cool compared to, these two fucking abysmal flags. Yeah, I'll put, but nonetheless, I'll put that shit in C, man. Now, possibly one of the best flags ever. We've got Bhutan. Yeah, this is where shit gets real. This is, of course, is a Chinese dragon, which alludes, because Bhutan is known as Dzongkha within the country. The country is known as Drukyul, Dragon Country, hence the name, hence the dragon on the flag. The yellow represents civil tradition, and represents the Druk Gyalpo, the Dragon King of Bhutan, fucking cool name, who traditionally wears a yellow kabni, a sort of scarf. Of course, the images of this will be on the screen as you watch this right now. And the orange signifies, of course, Bhutan's Buddhist, the spiritual, Buddhism of the country, particularly the Drukpa, Kyoku, and Nyingma schools. Of course, sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong. And the dragon spreads equally over the line between the colours, which is pretty cool too. And it signifies the equal between the king, the religion, the population, and invigorates unity and strength, which is pretty cool. And the dragon is white, signifies purity of the inner thoughts and deeds that unite all ethnically and linguistically diverse people of Bhutan. It's also holding jewels in its hand, represents wealth, security, protection, yada yada yada. And its snarling mouth represents the Bhutanese deity's commitment to the defense of Bhutan. Well, lots of meaning. I like the color. Of course the dragon is a bit detailed, but, fuck it, man. This shit's going straight in S. I fucking love that shit, man. Look at that flag. And next up, we have Bolivia. Pretty cool flag. As an Andean condor, fun fact right here. Also, since 2009, Bolivia also has two flags since 2009. This and Wipala, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, which represents the native peoples of the Andes. Of course, images of that would be on the screen right now. But, that flag's pretty cool. But this flag, it's pretty mid. Sorry, Bolivians. Next up, we have Bonaire, a Dutch island, of course, in the Caribbean. This was also designed by Whitney Smith, mentioned before, who, coined the word vexillology. It's pretty cool. It's got the blue, it's got the star. I believe this is a compass, which is also pretty cool. Discovery, ocean, travel, this and that. So, I'll put that shit in B. Of course, next up we have Bosnia and Herzegovina. Sorry. Of course, in the Balkans, very turbulent history. And yes, the flag is meant to be cut off like this. The 3 point, of course, this 3 points of this pyramid triangle yellow thing represents the three ethnic groups: the Bosniaks, the Croats, and the Serbs. It's also very reminiscent of the actual shape of the territory of Bosnia, which represents a triangle. Of course, images of that will be on the screen right now. And the stars, of course, cut off as they're meant to be infinite, as they're cut off and are infinitely, going down. I think as they continue from top to bottom. Yeah, pretty cool flag. But looks like it was designed in Microsoft Word or Paint or something. You know, what's this blue represent here? Why couldn't it be moved across? I mean, the symbolization of, you know, the infinite stars are pretty cool, but, you know, put that shit in sea, man. Of course, we have Botswana. Now, probably one of the top tier African flags. You know, beautiful country, but man, this flag is also likewise beautiful. It doesn't have, you know, as I mentioned before, Pan-African colours, green, red, yellow. It's one of the few African flags that doesn't use it, and doesn't use the colours of the country's leading political party. Of course, this band has two meanings. Symbolises harmony between, you know, the black African population and the white European population, as well, you know, as the racial diversity. And furthermore, it represents the zebra, the national animal of Botswana. Also, I believe the blue represents rain, which is called pula in Botswana, which is also the name of the currency. Of course, you know, Botswana is an arid country, very desert-like, so rain is of course a commodity. You know, I love this flag. You know, put that shit in there, man. You know, it's got zebra, represents zebra, rain, you know, black, white people, unity. I fucking love it, man. Now, we're getting possibly one of the top tier flags in the world, Brazil. Probably, as I said before, probably one of the two best alongside Argentina. You know, I fucking love this flag, man. It has so many meanings. Of course, the blue circle and the 5 stars replace the arms of Empire Brazil. Its position on the flag. Of course, these stars here, this constellation, probably can't see it here, represents the sky over the city of Rio de Janeiro on the 15th of November 1889, when Brazil, the Republic, was proclaimed. Now, that is fucking cool. I do not know, you know, I would assume it would have taken fucking ages to get this right, you know. Fucking, I don't even fucking know how they would do this, man. How would they get the constellation of the stars over a Pacific area at a Pacific time? You know, I'm not an astrologer or a stargazer, but man, that is fucking cool. Of course, each star gets even better, bro. It gets even better. Each star represents a Brazilian federal unit, which is sized in proportion relative to its geographic size, according to Brazilian law. Of course, no, according to Brazilian law, the flag must be updated in case of creation or extinction of a state. But, like, how the fuck do you even think of that? And of course, when it was adopted in 1889, it had 21 of the stars, received one more in 1960 with the state of Guanabara, with the introduction of Guanabara, another in 1968 representing Acre, and finally 4 more stars in 1992 representing Amapa, Roraima, Rodonia, Tocantins. I'm sorry to Brazilian people watching this video, I'm sorry, and if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And there are currently 27 all up, which is fucking mint. You know, it also has autumn, it has these words which you can't see here, but of course you can see the big one. Autumn and progresso, order and progress. I mean, it's fucking cool. I fucking love this flag, man. You know what? We're putting that shit in S. Fucking lady flag. Now, for quite a funky flag. Probably the best flag with the British ensign on it. Of course, it is the British Indian Overseas Territory, or BOTS, or BOT. It is, of course, disputed. It's located halfway between Tanzania and Indonesia. It's isolated, and you're not allowed to go there. It's a British joint military base between the US and UK, I believe. Controversial history. They kicked out. There were native people of these islands are called Chagosians. They were kicked out, exiled from the islands when they were taken over and turned to a military base. This flag doesn't have official use. There are of course some photos of it, but I don't really know if it's flown in there. Of course, it has waves, palm tree, crown. You know, it's pretty funky. So I'll put it's probably the better of, you know, the British ensign flags. I'm gonna put shit in B. And of course, we have Brunei. A very unique flag. It's located on the island of Borneo. It's completely surrounded by Malaysia, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And of course, it's a very detailed flag. Of course, the bigger one on the screen you'll see now will represent what I'm talking about. And of course, on the crescent right here, the crescent is the national motto of Brunei in Arabic. Of course, I won't pronounce it because I will butcher it, but it essentially means in English, always render service in God's guidance. Of course, Brunei is an Islamic nation, crescent moon, hence the crescent moon. And below in this banner right here, it's described the name of the country in Jawi, which is one of the two official languages of Bhutan. It essentially reads, Brunei, the abode of peace. It has two hands, as yellow, but you know, they aren't equal. Black and white aren't equal. You know, they could mean something. I'm sorry if the Brunei people watching this mean something, but you know, it's a pretty unique flag. But you know, it's hard to replicate, hard to write. You know, imagine, you know, every single flag has to have this on it, I believe, and running out Arabic on every single flag. You know, so I'll put that. You know, because of the hands, you know, the meaning, the flag, you know, it's pretty cool. And next up, we have Bulgaria. You know, got nothing much to say about it. Tricolour, red, green, white. About it. So, you know, we'll put it in C. Of course, we have Burkina Faso. Also has the Pan-African colours. Pretty cool flag. Has a star. But, you know, pretty basic if you ask me. We also have Burundi. Personally, this flag is pretty abysmal. You know, the stars are what really irks me about this flag. It looks like something that was like painted in by a kindergartner. And of course, the colours aren't stated. In the Constitution, they're defined simply as green, white, and red, and doesn't specify any shade. So, you know, it could be, you know, the dark green, could be a maroon, the white could be, you know. I mean, it's pretty cool, but, you know, I mean, it's pretty unique. But, you know, put that shit, no, sorry, Burundi. Boy, put that shit there, sorry. And now, we have possibly quite another unique one. Cambodia. Of course, Cambodia. Of course, the center of the flag is Angkor Wat. You know, probably the most famous tourist attraction in Cambodia. It's of course been on the flag of Cambodia since 1850. This current flag was adopted in 1948 after independence. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got, you know, possibly the most famous symbol of Cambodia, Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat, I should say, sorry. I mean, but, you know, if you want it, I mean, it's pretty unique. You know, even if you tried to draw this, I think people would see what flag you're going for. You know, yeah, but, you know, put that in B. It's pretty unique. Of course, we have Cameroon. You know, Pan-African colours. It was actually the second state to adopt them. You know, also it's easily confusable with other flags that share the same colour scheme. I mean, it's pretty cool, but, you know, pretty average compared with other, you know, pretty average similarly compared to other countries that share the same colours. Of course, Canada. Now, possibly one of the best flags on this list. You know, it's easily identifiable. I don't think any other flag has, you know, a leaf on it. It has red, white, of course the famous maple leaf in the middle. It's, you know, it's a very Canadian symbol. It's also very simple to draw. You know, all you have to draw is, you know, three or whatever these are called in the stem. You know, but I wouldn't say it's, you know, I put it B. Oh no, A, because it's not, you know, it's not on the level of this, you know, that incorporate, you know, the meaning of the country. Next up we have the Canary Islands. You know, autonomous community in the Atlantic Ocean. It has dogs. I mean, that's about it. As you know, symbol. It's part of Spain, Spanish crown. I mean, it's pretty unique. We'll put that in B. Of course, we have Cape Verde, or Cabo Verde. It's an archipelago in the central Atlantic Ocean. It's pretty cool. Has stars, has the red, the white, the blue. I don't really know the meaning behind any of this. I'm sorry to the Cape Verdeans out there watching this video, but it's a pretty good, flag, African flag, of course, because it's in Africa. I think we put that in B2. Of course, next up we have the Cayman Islands, of course located in the Caribbean. Of course it's a tax haven. It's also got the British ensign. I don't really know what any of this means. I think it's just of course I remember this is on the Royal Standard, I believe, but I could be wrong. It also has turtles. I believe these are turtles, because the Cayman Islands used to have a significant turtle population. Of course, they were wiped out during colonization, so, but, it's got the British ensign, it's pretty basic. Of course, we have the Central African Republic. It's a pretty unknown country. I don't think many people know about this country. It's got the Pan-African colours, also a combination, because it used to be ruled by France, has, 3 colours of the French flag. It's a pretty unique flag, but, it's pretty basic. Of course, next up we have Ceuta. It is an autonomous city on the coast of North Africa, fun fact. It's pretty cool. It's got, royal illusions, the crown, it's got black, white, but, it looks like one of those hypnotization, colorings you see when you get hypnotized by a fucking magician or some shit, but, it's pretty good. So I'll put that in B. And of course, we have Chad. As I mentioned before, very similar to the flag of Andorra, Moldova, Romania. It has, these 3 colours. Of course, right to left is blue, gold, and a red column. And were introduced because Chad was once ruled by France. It represents, symbolises the French flag. Also has the blue of French, but also the Pan-African colours. Of course, it is up to much controversy between Chad and Romania. It's called international discussion, and in 2004, Chad asked the United Nations to examine the issue. However, Ion Ilisu, President of Romania, announced no change to the colour. Because get this, the existence of Romania's flag predates the existence of Chad as a whole. I mean, that's pretty based. But, besides that, it's basic. Doesn't really have any meaning. It's just got 3 equal bands of colour. So, I'm gonna put that in. I'll put that in D. Next up, we of course have Chile. This star, fun fact, represents Venus, which is significant to the country's indigenous population called the Mapuches. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It's pretty cool. It's very simple, very easily identifiable. Of course, it's very similar to the flag of Texas. But all around, pretty good flag. We'll put that in B. It's a pretty cool flag. Of course, we have probably one of the most easily identifiable flags. China. Of course, I think everyone knows what China is. It's very, communist society. So it's very, it's very militaristic. It's very communist. It's very, bland. It's very, I don't know how to describe it. It's just very, communisty. Of course, there's the official interpretation. The red background symbolizes the communist revolution. The 5 stars represents the unity of the Chinese people and the leadership of the CCP. The orientation of the star shows unity that should revolve around the center, which is the government. Of course, represents the CCP. The 4 smaller stars represent the 4 social classes of China's democracy. working class, the peasantry, the urban elite bourgeoisie, and the national bourgeoisie. Has communist illusions, but I don't really like it specifically. So, what? We'll put that in B. Of course, we have a pretty unknown flag. It's Christmas Island. It's an Australian territory. Of course, this is the island. The flag. Of course, we've got Southern Cross. We've got a bird, I believe, named for the island, but I forget its name. I mean, it's pretty cool. I don't think many Australians know we actually own this island. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't think I'll ever go there as an Australian, but yeah, you know what? We'll put that in B. Of course, we have another Australian territory, the Cocos or Keeling Islands, the Indian Ocean, Southern Cross. Of course, it has the crescent moon because it has a significant Islamic population. Of course, it has a palm tree. I mean, it's got the green and the yellow of Australia's national colours. I mean, I think like Christmas Island, it's pretty cool, pretty basic, so I'll put it next to its homie. Of course, we have Colombia, a country in South America. It's also similar. Its colours are similar to that of Ecuador, which derives from the flag of Gran Colombia, which of course was this massive, nation that united Northern South America. Yeah, it's also different from most other tricolour flags because the stripes are not equal. All the stripes are not equal in size. Of course, this one's smaller than that one. This one's smaller than this one. It's also, these colours are also used by Ecuador and Venezuela. I mean, it's pretty cool, but it's got colours, tricolour, so it's pretty basic if you ask me. So I'll put that shit in C. Of course, we have the Comoros. It's an archipelago at the northern end of the Mozambique Channel off the eastern coast of Africa. The colours in the constitution are defined as simply yellow, white, red, blue and green. It doesn't specify shade. Of course, it is a Islamic country. It has, the crescent moon. And yeah, pretty cool. But it's probably one of the better African flags, so I'll put that shit in B. Of course, we have the Cook Islands. These 15 stars represent the islands. They make up the Cook Islands. It's got the British ensign. It's also self-governing, free association with New Zealand, which is pretty cool. But it's basic. It's blue. It's got the Union Jack. So I'll put that in D. Of course, we have the flag of Costa Rica. It's based off the flag of the French Revolution, 1848. Freedom, equality, brotherhood, yada yada yada. Blue means the sky. That's about it. It also doesn't have any standing military. That's a fun fact. It's a pretty cool country, pretty cool flag. It's got, it's probably one of the better ones. So I will put that in. Put that in B. Of course, next up we have Croatia. It's a very national flag. It's pretty. I think it's a very, I think it's a well-loved flag by Croatia. I know many Croatians within Australia gladly fly this flag. It's also featured on its national uniform for football. Croatian national team. It's got the red, it's got the white, it's got the blue, pan-Slavic colours. Many nations of predominantly Slav populations have this colour. And of course, these, nubs of the shield represent the various regions of Croatia. From left to right, they are Croatia, Dubrovnik, Dalmatia, Estaria, and Slavonia. These colours were based off the flag of Russia, a Slavic country, of course. Ironically enough, the flag of Russia was adopted on the flag of the Netherlands. So, in reality, this flag is based in the Netherlands. I mean, it's pretty cool. It represents its Slavic identity, you know, its past history with these nubs. So, I mean, yeah, we put that in B. Of course, we have Cuba. You know, it's very similar to the flag of Puerto Rico. I mean, it's been flown during the revolution. I mean, I believe it was a flag before the revolution. You know, Fidel Castro. I mean, it's pretty cool. You know, it's got the red, the white, the blue, equal stripes, a star, red. I mean, it's pretty aesthetically pleasing. So, yeah, but you know, pretty basic. So I'm gonna put that in C. Also, and then now we have Curacao. I mean, it's in the Caribbean. It's a part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Also, 2,000 designs were submitted for this flag. 10 were shortlisted and was adopted on the 29th of November, I should say, 1982. I mean, it's pretty cool, but you know, unlike the other Netherland islands, it's pretty basic. So I'll put that in C. And of course, we have Cyprus. Of course, it's an island in the Eastern Mediterranean off the coast of the Levant and Anatolia. It's also got a pretty good meaning. It's got neutral symbols, attempt to indicate peace and harmony among, you know, the Greek and Turkish Cypriot communities, which are present on the island. Of course, olive branches signify peace. Of course, the island is a coppery orange color because the island has significant deposits of copper. And this is theorized where Cyprus received its name. So, you know, pretty cool. Pretty unique as the entirety of, you know, the nation on the flag. So, you know, I'm going to put this in B. Of course, next up we have the Czech Republic. Pan-Slavic colors. It, of course, was the flag of Czechoslovakia. And of course, when they dissolved in 1993, the Czech Republic kept the flag while Slovakia adopted its own flag. You know, yeah, Pan-Slavic colors, pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty unique, it's pretty basic, but it's also easily copyable. So I'll put that in B. And of course, next up, we have the Democratic Republic of the Congo, located in Central Africa. I mean, it's a pretty cool flag. Of course, compared to the other flags you usually have, you know, the Free Congo State, you know, Zaire, which was before this flag. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's got a star, it's got, I believe this is meant to represent the Congo River, or is it the blue? I don't know. But, you know what? We'll put that in B. Pretty cool flag. Now we have Denmark. Of course, Nordic country, Nordic flag. And a fun fact, has been used since the 14th century. Legend states, this legend has considerable influence over the flag and was introduced in the Battle of Lindensee in 1219. But of course, it's up to debate. And it holds the record for the world record of the oldest continually used national flag in the world, and was inspired, all the other Nordic crosses. I mean, yeah, it's all right, easily copyable. So we'll put that in. We'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Djibouti. Located on the Horn of Africa, pretty small country. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's got a star, pretty similar to the Czech Republic flag. Different colours except for the white. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty aesthetically pleasing, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have the Dominican Republic. Located on the island of Hispaniola, which it shares with Haiti, the Caribbean region. It's got the white, the red, the blue, and you can't see it on this because you'll see it on the bigger flag. Holds two Dominican banners flanked by 3 spears. It has a Bible with a small cross above it, and is said to be opened on the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 32, which reads, "Y la verdad os hará libres," and the truth shall make you free. It of course is one of the 28 flags to contain Christian symbols, and is one of the only 7 national flags whose design incorporates the flag itself. I mean, pretty cool flag. Pretty unique. Pretty unique. So yeah, we'll put that in B. And next up, we have Dominica. Of course, an island country in the Caribbean, has a parrot, and is one of only 2 national flags other than Nicaragua that uses purple. This, of course, is a Cicero parrot, a national emblem of the island, and of course, is an endangered species with a population of only 250 to 350 individuals. So, pretty cool. The purple, of course, I know the parrot is purple, but, contrasted with the red and the green, not really that aesthetically pleasing. Also, it's a pretty good flag, but pretty mid, would you say so myself. Next up, we have East Timor. Of course, located near Australia, island country. Was Portuguese, I believe. Pretty cool. Pretty mid. Not mid, but, pretty average flag. So we'll put that in C. Of course, we have Ecuador, northwestern South America. Of course, mentioned before, she has the same colours as, Colombia, which in turn gets it from Grand Colombia. Also has the flag of Ecuador, one of only 7 that mentions itself, as mentioned before. Has an Andean condor. I mean, it's pretty cool, but, it's pretty detailed. So, actually, you know what? We'll put that in B. It's a pretty unique flag, but, Of course, next up we have Egypt. I think everyone knows where Egypt is. This eagle is known as the Egyptian eagle of Saladin. It's featured on the coat of arms of many countries. It's the national emblem. Of course, it's the national emblem of Egypt, but it's featured on the flags of Iraq and Palestine. It, of course, is its revolutionary flag designed on the 23rd of July 1952. And these are known as the Pan-Arab colours. It's a tricolour used by Iraq, Syria, Sudan, and Yemen. Of course, the only difference is that this flag includes the eagle in the white band. I mean, it's pretty cool. The eagle's pretty cool. It has, historical connotations which influence many other flags. So I'll put this in. I'll put this in B. It's a pretty cool flag. Of course, next up we have El Salvador. It of course includes itself, one of only 7. It has the color purple. It also has a rainbow in its coat of arms. It's also based on the flag of the Federal Republic of Central America, I should say, which of course is influenced by the Argentinian flag. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's got a rainbow. It's got its own flag. So, we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have England. Let's go. And yes, contrary to popular belief, the Union Jack is not the flag of England. This actually is the flag. Of course, this is in the Union Jack, which means that this flag is featured on many flags across the world. Also, coat of arms of different countries, state and provinces of the former place of the British Empire. I mean, it's simple. I believe this is the cross of St. George. I mean, it's easily drawable, easily identifiable. It's simplistic. Of course, we'll put that in B. It's not, it's not A level. Of course, we have Equatorial Guinea. It's a very small country on the west coast of Central Africa. Of course, it has a tree. It was Spanish, I believe. It's pretty cool, but, the symboling is too small. I don't really know the meaning of it. It's also very detailed. The trees also looked like it was drawn in Microsoft Paint, so we'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have the flag of Eritrea. It's located on the Horn of Africa. Of course, many people don't know about this country. It's adopted after the Civil War or Revolution, I believe, against the Italians. It's got, I believe it's an olive branch, so it's pretty cool. But it's very basic flag, so we'll put that in C. Now, Estonia. Probably one of the best European flags, I should say. Of course, you probably won't know what I'm talking about, but this flag represents, the natural landscape of Estonia. Of course, there'll be pictures of it on the screen right now. Of course, the blue, the sky, the black, the trees, the white, the snow. It's simplistic. It's the tricolour. It's very aesthetically pleasing. It's very what's the word to describe it? It's very alpine, very snowy, very, I look at this flag and I think, snow, cold, winter. Of course I think of warmth, fireplace. So, of course, we put that shit in A, man. Look at that shit. Fucking beast flag. And of course, next up, we have Eswatini. Of course, a landlocked country in southern Africa. It's got a shield. I don't really know the meaning behind any of this. It's pretty cool. It's got African, heritage symbolization. So, it's a pretty unique flag, actually, compared to other flags. So, we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Ethiopia. Of course, this is where the Pan-African colours come from. It's one of the only two countries that sustained, ruled free from European powers, the other one being Liberia. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Has a Star of David. I believe it's a Star of David, don't quote me on that. I'm sorry if it isn't, to the Ethiopian population. But of course it has, widespread influence over, many African flags. It's a pretty cool flag, if I do say so myself. So, we'll put that in B. Of course, next up, we have the Falkland Islands. Very controversial territory. War was fought over between Argentina and Britain. Of course, that's a sheep. Of course, it's got a British ensign. Basic bitch. So, we'll put that shit in D. Of course, next up, we have the Faroe Islands. It's also part of the Kingdom of Denmark, Northern Atlantic. Of course, Nordic themed. It's pretty cool. So, it's unlike, it's got unique colours. So we'll put that, in B. Of course, next up we have Fiji. British ensign has, references to the island nature. Of course, England flag, royal emblem, I believe. Of course, got the blue of the ocean. We'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have Finland. Northern Europe, Nordic country. But funnily enough, this design was first used in Finland by Nylantiska Jaktluben, a yacht club founded in Helsinki in 1861. So, practically this flag was founded by a yacht club. It's pretty cool. Much like the Estonian flag, it reminiscent of snow, the winter, the cold, Nordic. So, probably one of the better Nordic flags, but we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have probably the most famous, France, located in Europe, has several territories overseas. Of course, came to prominence in the French Revolution, was based off the tricolour of the Netherlands. Of course, its tricolour was adopted by many countries across the world. Liberty, freedom, independence. So, don't really like the French, but its flag is pretty cool, represents ideals of independence, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have French Guiana, which of course is an overseas department of France, located in South America and the Guianas. Of course, this flag has no official status. Of course, it's sometimes represented. It's actually not the official flag of French Guiana. Of course, many of you will probably be in the comments going, but it was adopted on the 29th of January 2010, as a flag of French Guiana. But this was not recognised by the Superior Regional Council Of course, both councils were disbanded in late 2015 and replaced by the French Guiana Assembly. Now the French flag is used as the only official flag. I mean, it's a pretty cool flag, but it's no longer in use, so we'll put that in C. Of course, probably one of the better French collectivity flags. It's of course in French Polynesia. It has, I believe, this is a canoe used by seafaring Polynesian population. Red, white, ocean, sunshine. We'll put that in B. It's a very oceanic flag, representing isolation, Pacific Ocean, all that stuff. Of course, we have Gabon, a country located in the west of Africa. Of course, its proportions of the flag is 3:4, and a common ratio shared by only 3 other countries. Of course, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Papua New Guinea, and San Marino. Of course, doesn't utilize the Pan-African colors, and is not a tricolour compared to the other French colonies in Africa. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a pretty groovy flag, very simplistic flag. So we'll put that in. Yeah, we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have the Gambia. Very small country. I don't think many people know where it is or its location. Of course, since it's centered around the Gambia River, this represents the river. I mean, it's also one of the only countries that does utilize the leading colors of its political party, because since the flag was designed to have no political basis. I mean, it's pretty simplistic. Green, red, blue for the river. So we'll put that in C. And of course, we have yet another French overseas department and region, Guadeloupe. It's located in the Caribbean. Of course, this flag has no official status. The only official flag of Guadeloupe is the French flag. But of course, this is used locally. It's also based on the coat of arms of Guadeloupe's capital, Basse-Terre. Of course, it has these, I forget what these are called, but these are featured on many French flags, notably Quebec. I mean, it's pretty cool. But of course, it has no official use, but of course, nonetheless, we'll put that in B. Of course, we have the flag of Georgia. Of course, this flag is older than the flag of England. Of course, last year, I believe, a coin was discovered of King David the Builder that featured this engraving, known as the 5-cross engraving, that was dated back to the 12th century, which makes it one of the oldest flags in the world. I mean, it was one of the first countries to adopt Christianity, I believe, so it's got, the cross. I mean, it's pretty cool. So we'll put this in B. Of course, we have Germany, not to be confused with the flag of Belgium. I think everyone knows where Germany is. It's also protected against defamation, and if you defame the flag, it is a fine or imprisonment of up to 5 years. So, not wanting to desecrate this flag, I'll put that in B. Of course, next up, we have Ghana. Shout out to Stormzy. Of course, it has the Pan-African colours. This has a black 5-pointed star. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's also based on the flag. It's also designed and influenced the flag of neighbouring Guinea-Bissau. I mean, it's pretty cool. Probably one of the most grooviest flags in Africa, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up, we have Gibraltar. Now, probably the best British overseas territory flag. Of course, for those of you who don't know, it's located on the very bottom tip of the Iberian Peninsula. It's got a very strategic position, I should say, on the Gibraltar Strait. And, wow, this flag is just phenomenal. It also doesn't feature, the British ensign or the Union Jack in any form compared to other flags. Also, this castle here does not resemble any in Gibraltar, but it's also meant to represent, the fortress of, the wider Gibraltar, which is represented as a fortress. It's united, it's strong, it's, located on a rock, so it invokes images of a fortress. This key also represents its nickname as the key to the Mediterranean, because its location on, the bottom of Gibraltar. Probably one of the best, probably the best British flag. You know what? we're putting that shit in A, man. Look at that. Such a cool flag. Of course, we have the flag of Greece. Probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing / identifiable flags in the world. Of course, these 9 stripes have no official meaning. Of course, there are many popular theories. The most popular says it represents the syllables of the phrase, of course you see it on the screen right now, which in Greek means freedom or death. The 5 blue stripes represent the syllables of, and the 4 white represent, And of course the 9 stripes represent the letters of the word freedom. Pretty cool. Sorry to the Greek people for not pronouncing the Greek words, but you know, pretty cool flag, I should say. So, you know what? We'll put that in A. It's a pretty cool flag. It's got much use in Australia due to our Greek population. You know, I've seen it everywhere. It's pretty formidable flag, I should say. Now, Greenland. It's a constituent country of Denmark, Kingdom of Denmark. You know, big island. I think everyone knows where it is. Now, this flag is pretty cool. You know, inverted. I think it's meant to represent an igloo. I could be wrong. Don't cancel me if I'm wrong. Also represent the rising sun, or the setting sun. The red invokes Denmark, the white of course invokes snow, and is the only national flag of a Nordic country without a Nordic cross, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm a big fan of this flag, so, oh my god, is it B? 3 in a row in A? I know, pretty cool flag. Next up we have Grenada. Of course, it's in the West Indies of the Caribbean. And no, that is not a flame. It's nutmeg. Images of that are on the screen right now. And it's on there because Grenada, despite its small size, is the 2nd largest producer of nutmeg in the world, behind Indonesia. Pretty cool flag, if I do say so myself. Yeah, probably one of the better ones of the Caribbean, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Guam. It is, of course, much like American Samoa, an incorporated territory of the United States in the Western Pacific Ocean. Of course, has the same color scheme as American Samoa, and in the center of the flag has a seal. It's almond-shaped, and I don't think you can see it here, but of course on the bigger flag, it has a boat. It's called a proa. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And it's sailing in Hagantuna Bay, near the capital of Haganata, the capital of Guam, which is pretty cool. Has a palm tree, has its name. I mean, it's just, you know, even though it has, you know, stuff, it's pretty simple, very oceanic. So we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Guatemala, Central America. Of course, it's based off the flag of the former Central Federal Republic of Central America. It also features a firearm, one of the 4 in the world, one of the 4 UN flags that feature one, along with Mozambique, Haiti, and Bolivia. It also has a ratio of 5:8, one of the only 5 flags, alongside Argentina, Palau, Poland, and Sweden. I mean, but you know, it's a pretty cool flag. You know, I'm a fan of Central American flags. You know, it has, you know, emblems of freedom, of peace, of fighting. But you know, it's, you know, pretty average. Of course, next up we have Guernsey. It's an island in the English Channel off the coast of Normandy. Of course, it's part of its own bailiwick, ruled by the Crown, British Crown. Of course, this gold cross represents William the Bastard, who became Duke of Normandy, and yeah, most of you would know him as William I of England, which is pretty cool. Also has, you know, English cross. I think it's a pretty cool flag. Probably one of the better ones of British, you know, dependencies. So, you know, we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Guinea-Bissau, Pan-African colours, located in West Africa. It's also based off the African Party of Independence of Guinea, because, you know, Cape Verde and Guinea-Bissau were ruled by the Portuguese, and is based on the flag of the African Party of Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde, or the PAIGC. It's also derived from the flag of Ghana, as I mentioned before, and was the first design to use the Pan-African colours in 1957. The flag's design is heavily influenced by the flag of Ghana, as I said before, and, you know, green for blood of martyrs, forests for green, and mineral wealth for yellow. I mean, it's pretty cool. Of course, the country of Guinea-Bissau gets confused with Guinea, but of course we'll put it in C. Of course, we have Guinea. Of course, Pan-African colours, derived from the flag of Ghana. Of course, Sekau Toure, the first president of Guinea, was a close associate of Kwame Nkrumah, the former president of Ghana. Of course, the flag Pan-African colours, as I mentioned before, and the left to right, the reverse of the flag of Mali. I mean, it's pretty basic. It's a tricolour, same as, Guinea-Bissau. So we'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have Guyana. It was designed by Whitney Smith, as I mentioned before, the vexillology, god. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's got, peaks. I believe they're mountains. It's got green, it's got red, it's got red. I mean, it's pretty cool. We'll put that in C. Of course, we have the country of Haiti. Of course, it depicts its own flag. And features a gun, much like the countries of Mozambique, Guatemala, and Bolivia. Fun fact, it shared exactly the same flag as the flag of Liechtenstein, I believe, and they were forced to change it after realizing they both had the same flags. Of course, Liechtenstein had the crown in the corner, and Haiti has its coat of arms put in the center. Pretty basic flag, if you ask me. We'll put that in C. Of course, we have Honduras. Flag of Central Republic of Central America. Of course, it's different from the other flags as it represents the 5 nations of the former republic in the hopes that they may form a union again. Of course, I don't think that'll ever happen, but if it does happen, the flag is pretty cool, and I would like to see it used to represent, the union. So we'll put that in B alongside the other ones. Of course, next up we have Hong Kong. Lots of controversy surrounding the flag. Shout out to the revolution, the protesters against the Chinese government. It's pretty cool. It's got, I believe this is a lily. I could be wrong. It's of course got the red of China. I mean, it's pretty unique, pretty easily identifiable. So we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Hungary. Located in Central Europe. It was used by the Kingdom of Hungary. Of course, they had a symbol in the middle. And fun fact, it is the same colour as the Republican Movement flag of the UK. Pretty cool. Was used since the coronation of Leopold II in 1790, and predated of course, since it uses practically the same colours as Italy, predates the first use of the Italian tricolour in 1797. But it's pretty basic. So we'll put that in B. Now, Iceland, Nordic island, located. I think everyone knows where it is. Pretty cool flag. It's Nordic influenced. Used to be ruled by Denmark, I believe. Or was it Norway? One of the two. I mean, it's pretty cool for a Nordic flag. Pretty unique. So we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have India. And, I mean, it's a pretty cool flag. I think everyone knows where India is. And by law, the flag is to be made of khadi, a special type of hand-spun cloth of silk made popular by Mahatma Gandhi. I think everyone knows who he is. Famous revolutionary spirit against British, national hero of India. I mean, it's pretty unique. The flag's pretty easily identifiable. If I saw that, I'd go, oh, the Indian flag. So we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Indonesia. Located in Southeast Asia, neighbouring Australia. And this is the first flag on the list. It's also a flag, much like Chad, Romania, Moldova, that has very similar flags to other countries. Most notably Monaco, with a slight variance of shade of red in the ratio of dimensions. It's also similar to the flag of Poland, except the colours are reversed. And yeah, I mean, it's easily mistaken. I mean, Monaco and Indonesia couldn't be 2 different countries if they tried. And I mean, it's easily, it's simple, but it's basic, and it's easily mistakable. And now we have Iran, a country that has been in the news recently. Putting politics aside, it's quite a very interesting flag. Of course, much like the Iranian flag, predating the Iranian Revolution. But of course, this flag is probably one of the ones that includes very, Iran symbolism. Of course, it has 4 curved swords surmounted by a shadar and a symbolized representation of the word Allah right here, which is pretty cool. 5 parts of the emblems are also meant to symbolize the principles of the Islamic religion. The shape of the emblem is also meant to represent a tulip in memory of the people who died for Iran. Of course, it is an ancient belief dating back, thousands of years, and in Iran it is believed a red tulip will grow on the grave of the dead, which is pretty cool. Of course, this scribble, I'm sorry if I offended anyone, is actually Kufic script in white, which is, written in Kufic script, is the takbir, the name for the Arabic phrase Allahu Akbar, meaning God is the greatest. I stuttered my way through explaining this flag, but, it's a pretty cool flag. I mean, the symbol in the middle is pretty cool. This stuff's pretty cool, but, I think by law you have to include this Kufic script in it, so it's not really easily identifiable. But, it's a pretty cool flag, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Iraq, located in Western Asia. Of course, has the pan-Arab colours. Of course, this phrase is God the Greatest, written in Kufic script in green. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Also, fun fact, I didn't mention it before in the Egypt flag, but the red, of course, each of these colors represents a different, Arab caliphate, the foremost powerful in history. Of course, the black represents the Rashidun and Abbasid caliphates, the white, the Umayyad and Fatimid caliphates. Of course, green is the primary color of Islam, and red represents the Hashemite dynasty color, which is pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool flag. It's got, religious symbolism. So we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Ireland. Of course, many people know what Ireland is. It's also very similar to the flag of the Ivory Coast. But of course, with the orange on the hoist side in a shorter proportion. 2 to 3 instead of 1 to 2. It's a pretty cool flag. Very easily identifiable. It's the flag of Ireland. It's used by, Irish populations across the world. But, it's a tricolour. Very basic, but, it's a pretty cool flag, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up, we have the Isle of Man. It's also, self-governing British dependency in the Irish Sea, located between Britain and Ireland. This is called a triskelon, this 3-legged thing, and a 3 armoured legs with golden spurs upon a red background. It's also been the official flag since the 1st of December since 1932, and is based on the Manx coat of arms, which dates back to the 13th century. Of course, the triskelion is an ancient symbol used by the Mycenaeans and Lycians. It's pretty unique among British dependency flags. I'm a fan. So you know what? We'll put that shit in A. We'll put that shit in A. Of course, next up, we have the flag of Israel, located in Western Asia. The basic design recalls the talit, which is a Jewish prayer shawl, which is white with black or blue stripes, and the symbol in the center represents the Star of David, which is a representation of Jewish identity in Judaism. It's a pretty cool flag. It represents the Jewish identity, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Italy, located in the Mediterranean Sea. Of course, it's derived from the tricolour of the French Revolution. Pretty cool. It's used much widely by the Italian population, especially here in Australia. It's also very easily identifiable to the Italian culture, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Ivory Coast, which is very similar to the Ireland flag. All around, pretty cool flag. The tricolour. Yeah, pretty cool for an African country. So, but we'll put that in C. Of course, we have Jamaica, an island located in the Caribbean Sea. I love this flag. You know why? Because it's the only flag that does not contain the colours of red, white, or blue. It's also very unique, easily identifiable. It was also used by the Jamaican population, living outside of Jamaica. And you know what? I love this flag so much. We put that shit in A. Of course, next up we have Japan, located in East Asia. Yeah, it's very similar to the Bangladesh flag and the Palau flag. Of course, the colour scheme of Palau is very different, but a little bit of a side note. While the government of Palau does not cite this flag as influencing their flag, it was administered by Japan from 1914 until 1944. So, you ask me. It's pretty easily identifiable. Land of the rising sun, even though the sun rises earlier in other places of the world. But I'll put that shit in A. It's very, identifiable. So, yeah. Of course, next up we have Jersey, self-governing crown dependency off the coast of France. It's got red, white, crown standard, crown, red and white of the English flag. Pretty basic, if you ask me. But, it's one of the better crown dependency flags, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up, we have Jordan, Pan-Arab colours, of course, located in Western Asia. Red chevron represents the Hashemite dynasty, which rules Jordan. Pretty cool, but, shares the same colours as the Pan-Arab. Actually, you know what? I'm feeling in a good mood today, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Kazakhstan. Of course, located in Central Asia. I think it's the largest landlocked country in the world. Don't take me if I'm wrong. It has the sun, has the eagle. Pretty cool. Of course, has the blue. I believe this blue is a Turkic colour. Pretty unique flag amongst the flags of Central Asia, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Kenya. Of course, has the shield, the spears, representing African heritage. A pretty cool flag, if you ask me. It's very African flag. I love it. It's a very simplistic flag, so we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Kiribati, but of course, it's pronounced Kiribati because in the Kiribati language, the T is pronounced as an S. Now, this is a flag I know is from an island country. Seagull, sun, waves. It's very unique. I think the only other country flag that uses this is the British. What's its name? The British Indian Territory. But it's a very oceanic flag. And you know what? We'll put that in A. Of course, we have Kosovo, partially recognised region in Southeast Europe. Of course, much like the flag of Cyprus, has the outline of its country, really two flags. It's a pretty cool flag. So we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Kuwait, Pan-Arab colours as it's located in Western Asia. But it's pretty similar to the other Pan-Arab flags. Easily, there's significance to it, but, it's pretty similar to the other Pan-Arab flags. And now we have Kyrgyzstan, located in Central Asia. This, of course, is not the Xbox logo. It is a tundik, the opening of the center of the roof of a yurt, which is used by the traditional nomadic peoples of Kyrgyzstan. Of course, when you first walk in, it's the first thing you see when you look up in a yurt. Represents the crisscrossing of the woods, got the rising sun, red and yellow. It's not a very aesthetically pleasing flag, but, due to the significance of, the nomadic yurt, it's pretty cool, so we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Laos, very similar to the flag of Cambodia, except it's got a white circle. It's pretty basic, not really easily identifiable, so we'll put that in C. Of course, we have the flag of Latvia, the Baltic region of Northern Europe. Fun fact, if you want to remember where Latvia is located on the map, Latvia is in the middle between Lithuania and Estonia, which is explained by the middle of its flag. Of course, it was officially adopted in 1921 and was used as early as the 13th century. But you know, compared to the Estonian flag, it's pretty basic. So we'll put that in C. Next up we have Lebanon. Of course, this is a cedar tree, and is a symbol of the Maronite Christians, and is mentioned 70. And this particular is known as Lebanese cedar, is mentioned 77 times in the Bible, most notably in the book Psalms, chapter 92, verse 13, where it states that the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree; he shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. And chapter 104, verse 16, the trees of the Lord are well watered, the cedars of Lebanon that he planted. Now, you know, if your flag is mentioned in the Bible, that's pretty fucking cool. And it's, you know, it's got a tree, it's any tree, cedar, tree of Lebanon. It's mentioned in the Bible, you know, it's native to the country, so we'll put that in A. Of course, next up we have Lesotho. It is an exclave located in South Africa, and this right here is known as a mokoroto, a straw Basotho hat. Of course, Basotho being the native people to Lesotho, and it's pretty cool. It's got, you know, a hat and representation of the native Basotho people, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Liberia. Of course, located on the West African coast. It's of course the first independent republic in Africa. Of course, it's only been because America came in and was set up as a colony, or a country I should say, to reintegrate and, you know, give freed African slaves, you know, a place to live in on the homeland of Africa. Of course, is modeled on the flag of the US, and yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty basic flag, pretty unique amongst the flags of of Africa, and we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Libya, located in northern Africa, crescent star, crescent with star, Islam. Have to say, I think any flag would be better than the one previously used before this flag, which was just straight green, used by Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi. I mean, it's pretty cool, so we'll put that in C. Of course, we have Liechtenstein, a German-speaking microstate in the Alps. It's been used since 1764, and it was enshrined in the Constitution in 1921. Of course, this crown was added in 1937 after the country found out in the Summer Olympics that the flag of Haiti was identical. It's a principality. Principality has the crown. Pretty cool for a microstate, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Lithuania, located in the Baltic region of Europe. I don't think any flag in the Baltics will beat the Estonia. This one's pretty cool. I think it's vastly better than the flag of Latvia, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Luxembourg. Of course, it is commonly confused with the flag of the Netherlands. Of course, Luxembourg had no flag till 1830, and this flag became a flag in 1884, but was not officially adopted until 1993. Of course, identical to the Netherlands. It's part of the Banlieue with Belgium, Netherlands, and of course Luxembourg. Yeah, pretty cool flag, very cool flag, so we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Macau, a special administrative region of China in the Pearl River, much like Hong Kong. Of course, it has the green lotus. Of course, this right here is probably the coolest part, is the Nobro di Cavarolo Bridge. Of course, links the Macau Peninsula to the rest of Taipa, which of course links it further to China. Of course, the bridge is one of the most recognizable landmarks of the territory, and the water beneath the lotus, located here, symbolizes Macau's position as a port. Pretty cool flag, if I do say so myself. Very unique. Represents its Portuguese past, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Madagascar, home to King Julian, and is located 400 kilometers off the coast of East Africa. Much like the cat of much like the flag of Benin. You know, as this, pretty basic, so put that in C. Of course, we have Madeira. Of course, one of the two autonomous regions of Portugal, other than being in the Azores. I believe Ronaldo's from here. I could be wrong though. Pretty cool. You know, pretty cool flag. I should say so. Got the tricolour, got a cross, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Malawi. For those of you who don't know, is landlocked country in southeastern Africa, and there are exactly 31 rays, as Malawi was the 31st country to gain independence in Africa, which is pretty fucking cool if I do say so myself. And just because of that, you know, it's tricolour. I think the rays are a pretty cool feature, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Malaysia, located in Southeast Asia. Of course, it's composed of 14 alternating red and white stripes, representing and bearing a crescent. 14 stars represent the Bintang Puskusum, the federal star. Of course, 14 stripes of equal width represent federal status in the federation of the 13 states and federal territories, while the 14 points represent the unity between these entities. Of course, crescent and star represents Islam, as Malaysia is a predominantly Islamic country. You know, I'll put that in B. The star's pretty cool. The stripes and the star include, you know, the territories. Of course, next up we have Maldives, archipelago located in southern Asia. Of course, you know, it has the red and the green and the white pan-Arab colors, excluding black. Of course, crescent has the crescent, meaning Islam. Pretty basic flag, if I do say so myself. You know, pretty simplistic. You know, represents Islam, so you know, we'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have Mali, landlocked country in West Africa, home of Mansa Musa. Big up Mansa Musa, the goat. Of course, Pan-African colours. Of course, yellow representing gold, as Mali is one of the biggest producers of gold in the world, I believe. But you know, is almost identical to the flag of Guinea, except it's in reverse order. You know, it's pretty basic, pretty bland, if I do say so myself. You know, not easily identifiable, so we'll put that in C. Of course, we have Malta. Probably one of the best, of course I keep saying that, but I wholeheartedly agree, it's probably one of the best flags in Europe. Of course, it has George's Cross, awarded to Malta by George the 5th, I believe, or the 4th in 1942. Of course, you know, red, white, and of course, island country, Mediterranean, very small. I don't think many people would know of it. It's also where Anomaly lives. Shout out to Anomaly. Pretty cool flag. Probably one of the better ones of a former British colony. So, you know, fuck it. We'll put that shit in A. Of course, next up we have the Marshall Islands, located near the equator, slightly west of the international dateline. And yeah, of course this flag is used vastly on ships as a flag of convenience. Yeah, the star has 24 points. I believe these 4 represent the cardinal directions of the compass, but alongside this, the 24 represent the electoral districts of the Marshall Islands. It's also the national flag with the most points on a star at 24. Pretty cool flag, you know, blue, water, star, compass. So we'll put that in, yeah, we'll put that in B. Now, Martinique, another island overseas region of France, but this flag is quite possibly one of the most controversial on this list. First of all, this is not the official flag. Martinique has no official flag, and the flag of France is the only official one. This is known as the snake flag, featuring a white cross, blue field, and a white fer de lance viper. The flag dates from an edict issued on the 4th of August 1466, specifying that vehicles of the French colony of Martinique and St. Lucia should fly a flag of the French ensign, with the term was the white cross and a blue field with an L. Of course, with an L shaped for Lucia, of course, seeing as the snakes are shaped in an L, for St. Lucia in each quarter of the cross. But the flag is highly controversial because of its historical use on ships engaged in the Atlantic slave trade, Often presented internationally on the flag of Martinique, it is strongly rejected by locals and its use is very discouraged. This flag, if you whip this out in Martinique, you will greatly offend the population of the island. Deputy Jean-Philippe Noir demanded its withdrawal from public use and even compared it to a Nazi swastika that refers to the Holocaust. Yeah. Yes, this flag is like the Nazi flag. Yeah, I know, crazy. And of course, in October 2018, the National Germany stopped using the emblem by order of President Emmanuel Macron. Now, before this controversy, I thought this flag was fucking cool. Snakes, cross. But in light of this controversy, its connotations from use of the Atlantic slave trade. But, I can't let sorry to the people of Martinique, but I can't let controversy. On face value, this flag is pretty cool, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Mauritania, located in northwest Africa. Of course, it is one of the only two flags of a currently Arabic-speaking country that uses a shade of yellow. Also, like Egypt, the color yellow is used in a central emblem. Of course, the crescent and the moon representing Islam, Pan-African colors, and the red stripes were added in 2017 and represents the sacrifices and efforts of the people who keep consenting to the prior of their blood to defend the territory of Mauritania. So that's pretty cool. It's also pretty basic. Of course, prior to 2017, this was all green. Pretty basic African flag, crescent moon, put that in C. Of course, next up we have Mauritius, not to be confused with Mauritania. It's located about 2,000 kilometers off the coast of the African continent. It's a pretty bougie flag. It's got 5 distinct colors. I believe this is influenced by Pan-African colors, but I could be wrong. It's pretty unique among African flags, so I'll put that in B. Of course, we have Mayotte, an overseas department of France. It's also one of the only ones that has an official it uses the French flag. This is widely used in Mayotte, I believe. It's one of the most widely used amongst a region. It's also widely used amongst a region, but although it's not used as the flag of France is used. It's got seahorses. Which is pretty cool. But not really the official flag, so we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Maella. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong to the Spanish people watching. Of course, not an African city. It's a Spanish city located on the coast of Africa. Of course, got the crown, got the emblem, got the blue. It's a pretty cool Spanish flag, very royal. So we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Mexico. Now, not to be confused with Italy, of course, has the emblem. Now, this is one of probably the most coolest flags. Of course, the central emblem is the coat of arms, and is based on the Aztec symbol of Tenochtitlan, which of course was, the capital of the Aztec Empire, of course now destroyed by Spanish conquistadors, and upon the land it was used to be on is now Mexico City. Of course, the eagle, this emblem recalls the legend of an eagle sitting upon a cactus while devouring a serpent, signaling to the Aztecs the founding of their city, Tenochtitlan. Now, it's fucking lit. It's got an eagle, it's got a snake, it's got a cactus. It refers to Tenochtitlan, and all I'm saying is Mexico City, Mexico government, bring Tenochtitlan back. So we'll put that in A. Of course, next up we have Micronesia. I think these 4 represent, the 4 islands. Of course, it's located, it's an island country in Oceania. Pretty basic, very oceanic. So we'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have Moldova. Very similar to the flag of Chad and Romania, of course. Similar to Romania, as Moldova is a Romanian-speaking country, borders Romania, and, its culture and history is mainly influenced by Romania. Of course, yes, cultural affinity, and pretty cool. Has an eagle, has a bull's head. It's very Eastern European. It's very like antique, old. It looks like something, a nobleman or a king would have. So we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Monaco, not to be confused with Indonesia. Of course, it is a sovereign city-state in the French Riviera. Similar to the flag of Poland, of course. And yeah, pretty cool. Monaco is a beautiful country. So we'll put this in... but it is easily confused. But of course, the red is slightly darker, so we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Mongolia, sandwiched between Russia and China. Has a yin-yang. And this flag is, it's a very aesthetically pleasing flag, I should say. It's very unique amongst flags, I should say. So, we'll put this in A. I love, this blue stripe. I love this, whatever. I forget what this is called. I'm sorry if the Mongolians watching this video, but I think it's very cool. Of course, we have Montenegro. It's much like the Moldovan flag, it's very, noble, it's very old, it's very royal, of course holding, scepter and sphere with the crown, 2 eagles, similar to neighbouring Albania. Of course, many people don't know what Montenegro is. Besides that, it's a very cool flag, it's very, very European, very royal, so we'll put that in B. Of course, this flag is vastly better than the one it previously had when it was in a union with Serbia. Of course, remnants of Yugoslavia. Of course, next up we have Montserrat, a British overseas territory in the Caribbean. Of course, this woman is Erin, the national personification of Ireland. Of course, her name in Irish is Eir, which of course we get Ireland. She holds a Celtic harp. Of course, is another representation of Ireland. And, of course, has a cross. This is all because the island is mainly made up of Irish settlers who settled there from 1632 onwards. But mate, of course, you've watched this video for, I believe, an hour. I don't know the time right now. And it's a basic bitch English flag. Of course, we have Morocco, westernmost country of North Africa. Of course, this red has considerable influence as it is representing the royal Alawid dynasty. This ruling house was associated with the Islamic prophet Muhammad via Fatima, the wife of Ali, the 4th Muslim caliph. Of course, this pentagram, yes, it is a pentagram, is a seal of Solomon, an Islamic symbol whose 5 branches represent the pillars of Islam. Pretty cool flag, pretty simple flag. Very simple flag, represents, the ruling royal family, Islam, so we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Mozambique, located in southeastern Africa. Of course, it is one of the only countries that features a weapon. Of course, it is influenced by communism. I believe this is a sickle, a book for education, and a gun. But yet, it is the only flag of the UN that features a modern firearm. Of course, with the Kalashnikov AK-47. Pretty cool flag. I feel like I keep saying that over the course of the video, but it's pretty cool. It symbolizes revolution, education, fighting, farming. Pretty varied colors. Pretty cool. So we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Myanmar, who too has been in the news recently for their recent coup. Shout out to all the Myanmar people out there. But, besides that, pretty basic flag. It's got a star, very similar to the Lithuanian flag. So we'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have Namibia, located in southern Africa. Of course, Namibia being a desert country, sun, water. I believe this is water. It's pretty cool, very unique flag, so we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Nauru. Of course, Australians, I should say, know a lot about Nauru. Of course, this flag is also pretty cool because it depicts Nauru's geographical position with a star just south of the equator represented by the yellow. Of course, Nauru is a microstate amongst the smallest countries in the world. I believe it's one of the most obese countries, fun fact. Well, not really fun fact, but it's a pretty cool oceanic flag, so we'll put that in B. Now, quite possibly, I feel like I kept saying this, quite possibly the best flag in the world. The most unique flag, the most easily identifiable, a flag that you see and you go, yes, that is Nepal. Yes, this is the flag of Nepal, and is the world's only non-quadrilateral flag that acts as both the state flag and civil flag of a sovereign country. The flag is a simplified combination of two pennons, or pennants, known as a double pennon. I believe these two symbols represent Hinduism and Buddhism. I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I got that wrong to the Nepalese people watching this, but you know the amount of interesting shit about this flag, how unique it is. There's only one place where it belongs. S tier. Of course, next up we have the Netherlands. It's a variant of the 16th century orange, white, blue Prince flag, evolving in the early 17th century as the red and white States flag in Dutch. Of course, is the oldest tricolour in use. Symbolizes the transformation from monarchy to republic, and is a derivative and inspires the derivative Russian flag and the further French flag, and you could say every tricolour in the world is based off this flag. Of course, seeing its influence, we put that in B. Of course, we have New Caledonia, an overseas collectivity. It's located about, I think, 1,200 kilometres from Australia, and I believe nearly 18,000 kilometres from France, so it's very, very, very far away. Of course, much like every other collectivity of France, its official flag was the flag of France up until 2010, until this flag was adopted in July 2010, the Congress of New Caledonia voted in favour of a wish to fly the Kanak flag, but the Kanak, of course, being the native people of New Caledonia. Of course, this wish was controversial. A majority of New Caledonians objected to the flag, but was eventually adopted. But not all people hate the flag, but nowadays this flag is flown equally with the French tricolour. Of course, I believe this is a Canuck symbol. I could be wrong. So we'll put that. I mean, it's pretty unique among island nations. I think it's probably one of the best amongst former French. Well, it is still a French region, but it's probably one of the best ones, so we'll put that at A. Of course, we have New Zealand's island country, Southwest Pacific. It's very similar to Australia, except it's missing this, and is commonly confused with the flag of Australia. There have been several instances where this flag has been confused with Australia and vice versa. Of course, I believe in New Zealand, there has been several referendums, decisions, movements to try and change the flag. Of course, from this we get the infamous laser Kiwi flag, which I believe is probably going to be the best flag in the world if it's ever adopted. Of course, Southern Cross, except this one has 4 stars with red centers, and yeah. I mean, we'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have Nicaragua. Of course, like I've mentioned before, located in Central America, boasts the flag of the French Republic of Central America, which in turn was based on the flag of Argentina. Also has a rainbow, much like neighbouring. I forget the name of the country. And flag of a sovereign state to include the colour purple alongside the flag of Dominica. I mean, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool flag. I think my audio cut out there for a second. Sorry, guys. But it's a pretty cool flag, and we put that in B. Of course, next up we have Nigeria, country located in West Africa. Of course, this flag was an adaptation from a winning entry from Michael Taiwo Akinwumi. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. From a competition held in 1959. He was a 23-year-old student and was studying at Norwood Technical College in London, and saw an advertisement in the newspaper that submissions were being accepted, and here we are. Besides that, though, it's a very basic flag, green, white, tricolour, so put that in C. Of course, next up we have Niger. Landlocked country, not really known by many people in the outside world. Of course, it's very similar to the flag of India, except for the orange disc in the middle. Very I mean, pretty basic flag, if I do say so myself. Don't really know the meaning behind it, so we'll put that in C. Of course, we have quite possibly one of the most eccentric flags to include the British ensign. Of course, this is Niue, located about 2,400 kilometres northeast of New Zealand. Of course, very unique. It is a British ensign, and is not only having a yellow background, but the Union Jack is defaced with these stars. I'm just gonna go and say it's a pretty shit-looking flag. It looks like something a Republican movement would make. It looks like some unofficial England flag that some fringe group would make, so we'll put that in C. Of course, we have yet another Australian territory, Norfolk Island. It's located... excuse me. It's located about 1,400 kilometres east of Australia, about 900 kilometres from Lord Howe Island. Of course, it bears likeness to the flag of Canada. Of course, different colour, different plant. Of course, also very similar to the flag of Nigeria. Of course, this has the Norfolk pine. Of course, being from Australia, these are very popular, particularly on the coast. Very popular on the coast. Particularly in Queensland. Pretty cool. Very identifiable. So we'll put that. We'll put that in B. And now, probably one of the most controversial flags. This is, of course, the flag of Northern Cyprus. For those of you who don't know, Northern Cyprus is a de facto state that comprises the northeastern portion of Cyprus. Of course, it is only recognised by Turkey and is considered to be a part of Cyprus. Of course, Turkey is the only country that recognises it, and I believe they invaded and created Northern Cyprus as a sort of safe haven for Turkish Cypriots. Of course, based on the Turkish flag. Of course, fun fact, there is the largest representation of this is found on the side of Besk Kamalak Mountain. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, in the Karina Mountains. And yes, you're reading that correctly. It has a quotation that says, "How happy is the one who says I'm a Turk?" Pretty fucking basic flag. Looks like something a Turkish nationalist would make, which of course they did. The flag is recognised by only one country, so we'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have Northern Ireland. Of course, situated on the northeast part of the island of Ireland. Of course, it's the only official flag of Northern Ireland. Has the Union. Of course, the official flag of Northern Ireland is the Union Jack. Of course, this flag is not really that official, but is used by a majority of Northern Irelanders. Of course, has the crown, the hand, the star, the England cross. It's pretty cool. I mean, nothing beats the actual Ireland flag, but we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have the Northern Mariana Islands. Many people don't know about this. It's a very relatively fringe country. Of course, it's an unincorporated territory in Commonwealth of the United States. It has 14 islands. I believe this represents, behind the star here, represents, I believe, stone carvings found on the islands. Of course, this represents, I believe, native reefs. But besides that, it's a pretty unique flag, so we'll put that in B. Now, North Korea. Also in the news recently. I'm actually, besides the political connotations, the dictatorship, all that North Korean stuff, I think this flag is probably one of the best representations of, the brutal system of communism. It's very stark, it's got red, it's got blue, it's got the star, it's very militaristic, it's very basic, it's very bland. Of course, this flag has stirred immense controversy in South Korea, where it's banned. So yeah, sorry to the South Koreans watching this, but I'm a big fan of North Korean flag. Of course, next up we have the flag of North Macedonia, of course located in Southeast Europe. Of course, the first post-Yugoslav flag of the country, adopted in 1992, was known as the Kutlesh flag, which featured the Virginia sun, a symbol that had been discovered in Agi, the first capital and burial grounds of the ancient kings of Macedon. See, this here is known as the Virginia sun. Of course, Greece, neighbouring Greece, considers the Virginia sun to be a Greek symbol and imposed a year-long economic embargo to persuade the then Republic of Macedonia to remove it from its flag, resulting in the current design. Also, its official name is the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, because, likewise, similar to the Virginia sun, the Greeks lay claim to the region of Macedonia, and seeing as they call themselves the Republic of Macedonia, the Greeks believed that they would assume that they thought Republic of Macedonia would rule Macedonia, but it's a pretty cool flag. It's very unique, even though it has massive controversy, so we'll put that in A. Of course, we have Norway, Nordic flag located in Northern Europe. Pretty basic, pretty identifiable. Much like the other Nordic flags, we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Oman, relatively unknown country located on southwestern Asia, on the tip of the Arab Peninsula. I believe this represents the royal emblem of the Sultan of Oman, and yes, they do have a Sultan. Pretty cool flag, relatively unknown flag, and we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Pakistan. Of course, green being an Islamic colour, crescent with a star representing Islam, the predominant religion. It's a pretty basic flag, if I do say. Oh, excuse me. Basic flag, pretty basic flag. Islam, that's about it. Of course, next up we have Palau. Of course, being an island nation of the Pacific, sun, sand, water, ocean. Pretty cool, pretty basic. We'll put that in C. Of course, we have Palestine, a very controversial country, partially recognised. I don't know the exact number who recognise it, but I know there are some. Pan-Arab colours represent the state of Palestine, Palestinian people. I know this flag is widely used by the Palestinian people across the world. It's pretty cool. Not really that official, I can controversially claim, but we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Panama, blue, red, white. I believe these two represent the two political parties. I could be wrong. Pretty cool flag. Pretty even flag, symmetrical flag. We'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have Papua New Guinea. Now, probably one of the best oceanic / Asian flags, that particular region of Southeast Asia. Of course, it's located on the eastern half, of New Guinea, including some islands of Melanesia, of course, Southern Cross, and this is known as a Regana bird of paradise native to the island. It, of course, was chosen through a nationwide design competition in 1971. The winning designer was Susan Karake, who was 15. Yes, you heard me right, 15 at the time to design the flag. Probably one of the best flags, has a bird, a pretty saucy bird if I do say so myself. So we put that in A. Of course, next up we have Papua New Guinea. No, not Papua New Guinea. Paraguay, located landlocked country in South America. Of course, red, white, blue, French tricolour. But of course, this flag is unusual because it is on both sides of the flag, meaning that when flown, either side shows the same flag. Of course, the obverse of the flag shows the national coat of arms, and the reverse shows the seal of the treasury. Pretty mid flag, if I do say so myself. The inverse showing the seal of the treasury and the coat of arms is pretty cool, but it's a pretty above average flag, so we'll put that in B. Now we have Peru. Don't know what to say about it. Red, white, pretty basic, so we'll put that in C. Of course, the Philippines has the Sun of May, of course, conquered by the Spanish, located in Southeast Asia, quite a very diverse country. Of course, it's a unique flag. Its usage is, of course, when the Philippines is in state of war, the flag is put upside down with red at the top, so which is pretty cool. Pretty unique flag, similar to the Czech Republic, has, a star, the sun, I should say. Well, the sun is a star, so it technically is a star, so we'll put that in B. Now we have possibly one of the most unique looking British ensigns. Now before I put this in the basic bitch section, I should give you a little bit of history about it. Of course, the coat of arms features several histories notable to the Pitcairn Islanders, most of whom are actually descended from sailors who mutinied on the HMS Bounty in 1789. Yes, you heard me right. The entire population of the Pitcairn Islands, located in the Southern Pacific Ocean, are all descendants of mutineers, and which is pretty cool. Of course, the blue, the yellow, and the green of the shield symbolise the Pitcairn Island rising from the Pacific Ocean, which is the only British overseas territory in the Pacific Ocean. Of course, there's an anchor and a Bible representing, the ship the Bounty in Christianity, which mutineers brought to the island. Of course, is surrounded by a green and gold wreath and crested by a helmet bearing a wheelbarrow, of all things, and a slip of Miro, a local tree which represent the role agriculture played in helping the mutineers survive on the island. Of course, the slip of Miro also represents the wood used by Pitcairn Islanders for crafting souvenirs. I mean, it's probably the coolest of all the British ensigns, so we'll put it in C. And of course, shout out to all the Pitcairn Islanders out there. There's like 100 of you, I believe, so if you're watching this video, shout out to your country. Of course, we have Poland, which is similar to the flag of Indonesia and Monaco, located in Central Europe. Of course, their country, it was officially adopted in 1831. Of course, although these colours were associated with Poland since the Middle Ages. Of course, it's upside down. Very different to the flag of Indonesia and Monaco, so we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Portugal. Of course, their emblem is featured on the flags of the Azores and Madeira. It's a pretty cool flag. Pretty saucy flag, if I do say so myself. So we'll put that in B. Yeah, pretty saucy flag, if I do say so myself. Pretty saucy flag, if I do say so myself. Yeah. And then next up, we have Puerto Rico, an island located in the Caribbean. Of course, an incorporated territory of the United States. It's also similar to the flag of Cuba. Pretty cool flag, if I do say so myself. Blue, green, and white. Yeah, pretty cool. Of course, next up we have Qatar. Very similar flag to Bahrain, as I mentioned before. Of course, Bahrain has fewer points, and is a red rather than maroon, and is the only national flag with a width more than twice its height, which is also pretty cool. Pretty cool flag. When I do say so myself. We'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have the flag of the Congo. Of course, not to be confused with the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Pan-African colours. It is the only Pan-African flag to utilize this diagonal pattern. Pretty basic flag, if you ask me. Of course, next up we have Reunion. Of course, another overseas department of region of France. It's an island in the Indian Ocean. And of course, it's a pretty cool flag. This peak is La Fornace, a volcano on the island. Of course, it's got golden sunbeams. It did not have official recognition until 2014. It is flying outside on top of many public buildings, though, like the town halls of St. Denis and St. Philippe, and several places across the island. It's a pretty unique flag. It's pretty cool. It looks very retro, something you'd make in Microsoft Word or something rather. But pretty cool flag overall. Of course, we have Romania, as I mentioned before, similar to Chad and Moldova. Of course, it predates the flag of both countries. It was used at various times across their history. Of course, it was used when Romanian was under a socialist government. Pretty basic flag, so I'll put that in C. Of course, we have Russia, a country that's been in the news recently. Of course, based on the Netherlands flags, also the basis of many Pan-Slavic colours. It's a very, basic flag, I should say. It's very unique. well, not unique, I should say. It's unique in the fact that it has this arrangement of colours in this order. Besides that, it's a pretty basic flag. Of course, next up we have Rwanda. Of course, this flag, probably one of the better flags, has the sun. Of course, anything's better than the previous flag, which was a red, yellow, green tricolour with a black letter R. and the R was there to distinguish it from the otherwise identical flag of Guinea, with the R standing, of course, for Rwanda. Of course, it's derived from the flag of Ethiopia, Pan-African colours. Of course, the flag was changed. Of course, the flag before this was changed because it became associated with the brutality of the 1994 genocide. Pretty brutal genocide, but I think the country's getting along well now. But pretty cool flag. Of course, next up we have Sabah, Caribbean island. Is of course a public body of the Netherlands. Of course, it's pretty cool. It has the Dutch colours. Of course, 130 different designs were presented, and this flag was designed by an 18-year-old named Edmund Daniel Johnson. So, makes me wonder what I'm doing, not designing flags for my home country. Yeah, pretty cool flag. We'll put that in B. Of course, we have Western Sahara, the very controversial country. It's a disputed territory on the northwest coast in the Maghreb region of Africa. It's recognized as part of Morocco. Of course, it's got Pan-Arab colours, Islam, crescent and star. It's a pretty cool flag, although I don't think the country will ever get international recognition. So we'll put that in B. Of course, next up we have St. Bartholomew, similar to the flag of Mayotte. And it's also an overseas collectivity of France and the Caribbean. Of course, it's got the French tricolours on it. Blue, red, and white. Of course, this isn't the official flag of France, much like the rest of the overseas collectivities. The official flag is, of course, the official flag of France. But yeah, this flag is widely used across the island, much like the other ones. Yeah, so we'll put that in B. It's a pretty cool one. It's got pelicans, of course. We have Samoa, a Polynesian island located in the South Central Pacific Ocean, Southern Cross. It was officially designed in 1994, and when it is being raised or lowered in public, all vehicles must stop and remain stationary until the performance is complete. Wow, that's pretty unique. And those who deface the flag or willfully insult it can be imprisoned for up to 6 months. But besides that, Southern Cross, blue-red, pretty basic if you ask me, and I don't think I'd stop my car for this flag to be raised. Of course, probably one of the better, another royal or better flag is San Marino. Of course, it's a microstate enclaved by Italy. Of course, it is the oldest flag attested of the Republic, dating back to the 4th of September 1465, and was commissioned from a manufacturer in Florence, allegedly composed of a tricolour of gold, white, and Alessandrino, are thought to be a recently interpreted shade of purple. It's a pretty European flag, very royal flag. It's very, I believe they did have a monarchy, I could be wrong, but it's very royal, very cool, so we'll put that in B. Of course, with the flag of Sao Tome and Principe, it's located in the Gulf of Guinea. Of course, the two black dots represent the two islands, Sao Tome and Principe. Besides that, the flag's pretty basic, Pan-African colours, so we'll put that in C. Of course, we have Sark, another bailiwick. Of course, there's a bailiwick, this time a part of Guernsey, located in the English Channel. It's a pretty basic Royal Lions English flag. We'll put that in C. Probably one of the worst ones of a British collectivity, so we'll put that in C. Of course, we have Saudi Arabia. Probably, I'm debatable about this flag. It's got the green. I like the green, I like the sword, but this, too complicated. And of course is an Arabic inscription written in calligraphic Tulif script, and is a Shahada. Basically it says there is no deity but God, Muhammad is the messenger of God. But besides that, I don't really like it that much. Very basic. Of course it doesn't have the Pan-Arab colours, which makes it better, but not really a fan. Of course, I'm more of a fan of this one. Scotland. Of course, many people know where Scotland is, and also, where possible, is flown from the government buildings every day from 8 AM until sunset. Of course, it also shares similarities with the Dutch municipality of St. Oudnord, named after the Scottish Princess St. Oda, uses a version of the flag of Scotland defaced with a gold castle. Of course, this is also featured on the Union Jack, which means that it's also technically on many flags across the world. I'm a big fan. It's unique. Yeah, we'll put that in A. Of course, next up we have Senegal. Same problem goes here. Pan-African colours, basic. We'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have Serbia. Of course, very royal flag, pan-Slavic colours. It's got a two-headed eagle, much like neighbouring Montenegro and Albania. You know, pretty cool. I'm not really a fan. It's a bit too complicated, a bit too royal for my taste. We'll put that in C. Oh, now this is another retro one. Don't know what it is with these island nations having very retro flags, but it's very, it looks like a corporate logo almost, designed by some geezer on his laptop in his bedroom. But either way, it's a very aesthetically pleasing flag. It's a very different flag. Where to put it? You know what? I'll put it in A. I like the color gradient. Well, not really a gradient, but the organization of the colors, which is pretty cool. Of course, next up we have Sierra Leone. Don't really know what's much to say about this. Well, it shares similarity with the Republic of Malaysia, a micronation who uses the upside down version of this flag, but besides that, I know Kanye West got diamonds from Sierra Leone, but besides that, it's a pretty mid flag in my opinion. Of course, we have the flag of Singapore, very similar to the flag of Indonesia, Monaco, and Poland, except it has this crescent symbol. I believe it's due to its Islamic religion, even though I believe they're not majority Islamic. I could be wrong. Pretty cool flag. I've been to Singapore myself, so it's a pretty cool country. The flag is pretty cool. Don't know what these stars could represent because the island is very, very small. But besides that, pretty good flag all around. Of course, we have the flag of St. Eustatus, a public body of the Netherlands. I believe this is the island here. Of course, so yeah, it has the flag as the Netherlands flag. It has red, white, blue. It's probably one of the worst ones of the Caribbean, I should say. It's very basic, very graphic E. Looks like it was designed like for a school project. So we'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have a Sint Maarten. Bears a resemblance to the war flag of the Philippines. Of course, as I mentioned before, Philippines flag reverses itself in times of war. It has this thing, also, but I'm not really a fan of it, really. It's pretty basic. It doesn't have that flair that other Caribbean island flags have, so I'll put that in C. Of course, we have Slovakia. Pan-Slavic colours, has this emblem here, of course, much like neighbouring Slovenia. The two are often confused to each other. It also uses the Pan-Slavic colours, although they are brighter and a different, emblem. Of course, Slovenia's is vastly better than Slovakia's because this is Mount Triglav, Slovenia's highest peak, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So I think I'll be putting Slovenia in B. Sorry, Slovakia, but your flag's just marginally worse. Of course, we have the Solomon Islands. Of course, consists of 6 major islands and over 900 smaller ones. It's in the Pacific. It's pretty basic. It gets its job done, so we'll put that in C. Of course, next up we have the flag of Somalia. Probably one of the most basic flags in the world. It's blue with white. Of course, it's banned in Somaliland, which is this flag right here. Pretty basic. Doesn't have Pan-Arab colours, which is good, but not really that good of a flag if you ask me. And of course, we have the flag of Somaliland. Of course, it is a breakaway region considered to be part of Somalia, but you know, some maps include it as a part, some include it together, but who knows. Of course, Pan has green, representing Islam. It has a Shahada written in white calligraphic script. Of course, it says there is no God except for Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Of course, it is forbidden for Somalis to fly the flag at half-mast because it has the Shahada, and it is seen as un-Islamic and disrespectful to treat the flag. The disrespectful way to treat the flag. Of course, if a person is seen lowering it to half-mast, they might be charged with flag desecration. Besides those rules, it's a pretty, Islamic flag. Doesn't have pan-Arab colours, which is good, but this thing, Shahada, complicates it more, but I'll let it slide. Probably another one of the best flags ever designed is the flag of South Africa. Of course, at the time of its adoption, it was the only national flag that comprised of 6 colours, without a seal and a brocade. It was meant to I think it represents the different ethnic groups. Different ethnic groups of South Africa, I believe. It's vastly better than the flag they had before. And, it's pretty cool. I like the Y shape. I like, the colours. So we'll put that in A. Another basic bitch British one. Of course, it's the South Georgia and South Sandwich Islands. British Overseas Territory, of course. It has a penguin. Besides that, it's a pretty shit looking flag. Too complicated for my liking, and it's a British ensign. Of course, got the flag of South Korea. I believe this is yin and yang. I forget the meaning of these 4 things, but I believe they're reference to South Korea's history. It's a pretty aesthetically pleasing flag. Probably one of the better Asian ones. It's pretty simplistic, pretty easily replicatable. So we'll put that in A. Of course, another controversial flag. It's the flag of South Ossetia. Of course, another breakaway region in Georgia, and much like Abkhazia, which was the first flag of this video, is recognized by only Russia, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Nauru, and Syria. But it's recognized as part of Georgia, so. It's a pretty funky looking flag. But pretty cool. Of course, next we have the flag of South Sudan. Of course, it's the newest flag. Newest country, I should say. Became a country in 2011. Of course, this flag is older than the country of itself. It was adopted in 2005. Also similar to the flags of Sudan and Kenya. It's a pretty cool flag. But it's not really that good of a flag. It's got the Pan-African colours, also Kenya influence too, but besides that, I'm not really a fan. Of course, we have Spain. It's got a crown. I can't really. The coat of arms is pretty cool. But it's a bit complicated. This area is a bit complicated. But the red and yellows is pretty cool. Of course, next up we have Sri Lanka. Probably one of the best flags of Asia. It's got I believe this is a lion. National symbol of Sri Lanka. It's a pretty unique flag. It's got 2 different notable sections. I do not know what these 3 colours represent, but it's a pretty cool flag. I think this creature, whatever it is, looks pretty cool. Of course, we have another basic bitch British flag. This time is St. Helena, located 1,900 kilometres off the coast of southwestern Africa. Of course, this bird is a plover, native to the island. I mean, it's about it. It's also, believe it's the last endemic species of the island, because they wiped them all out. Besides that, shit flag, put it in D. St. Kitts and Nevis. It's also located in the Caribbean. I'm a fan. I quite like it. It's a bit like the Congo, both Congos, I should say. And of course, it was adopted after a national competition held in the 1980s. It was designed by student Idris Lewis, and it was one of 258. It was hoisted 1 minute after midnight on 19th of September 1983, the day St. Kitts and Nevis became a country. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a pretty simplistic flag, much like other Caribbean flags. I think the 2 stars represent the 2 islands of St. Kitts and Nevis, also 2 colours, I believe, also. I mean, pretty good flag all around. So, yeah. Of course, next up, probably the best looking Caribbean flag. St. Lucia. Blue for the water. I don't know what these triangles represent, but either way, I'm a fan. It's very simplistic. It's very calm, very cooling. So we'll put that in A. Of course, we probably have one of the most unique flags to ever exist. It's the flag of St. Pierre and Miquelon. Of course, it's a self-governing territorial overseas collectivity of France, located near Canada. Of course, this isn't the official flag, as the official flag is France. This was adopted in 1982, unofficially, based on the coat of arms. Of course, the flag is blue with a yellow ship, said to be the Grand Hermine, which brought Jacques Cartier to Saint Pierre on June 1536. I believe he was the man who discovered, or aimed, or helped in discovering Canada. Also, this is the flag of Basque, for those of you who don't know why it's there. It has the French fence things, and it has the Royal Standard. I mean, it's a pretty unique flag. I mean, it's got a boat. We'll put that in B. Of course, next up, we have the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I mean, pretty simplistic flag. Of course, it's located in the Caribbean. Of course, these 3 diamonds, I believe, representation of it being the diamond of the Caribbean, and are associated, and are put into a V because Vincent. I mean, pretty cool design, if I do say so myself. It's got pretty cool colours. So we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Sudan. It's based off the Arab, the Arab Pan-Arab flag. I don't really like it that much. It's easily forgettable, too relatable, not relatable, but too similar to other flags of the same colour. Of course, next up we have Suriname. Pretty cool flag. But not really the best flag. It's got basic green, white, yellow, red. Besides that, I'll put it in C. Of course, we have the flag of Sweden, Nordic country. Based on the coat of arms, the colours of the coat of arms of Sweden of 1442. Of course, modelled after the Danish flag. And I believe the blue and yellow had been used since like 1275 or something, which is pretty cool. Probably one of the better. Of course, it's famous flag with IKEA. One of the better flags, so we'll put that in B. Of course, we have Switzerland, the only square national flag. It also uses the emblem of the Red Cross, but the colours are inverted. I'm a big fan. It's a pretty unique flag. It's square. So we'll put that in A. Of course, we have Syria. I mean, Pan-Arab colours, although the Syrian opposition has a better flag in my opinion. Pretty basic. I'll put that in C. Of course, we have another controversial flag, Taiwan. Partially recognised country located off the coast of China. It's on public display and has several historical museums and war cemeteries across China, but its use remains illegal. as it is seen as subversion of state power. It's used by the country of Taiwan. Opposition also uses it. It's pretty good. I believe this symbol comes from the Kuomintang, the party that was defeated during the Chinese Civil War and evacuated to Taiwan, I believe, but I don't really fucking know. So, of course, we have Tajikistan, located in Central Asia. Of course, much like Central Asian flags, it's very, cultural, but preserves the colours of the former Tajik Soviet flag. The crown represents the Samid dynasty and the Tajik people, as the name Tajik is connected with the Persian Taj, crown, which is pretty cool. I don't know why these Central Asian countries have such cool flags, but I think this is deserving of a B tier. Of course, we have Tanzania. Of course, adopted in 1964 to replace the individual flags of Tanganyika and Zanzibar. It's been used ever since the two states merged that year. Of course, it incorporates the designs of both flags. Has a diagonal line, which many countries don't have. It's pretty aesthetically pleasing. It's got blue, it's got green. Not pretty cool flag, so I'll put that in B. Of course, we have Thailand. It was adopted on the 28th September 1917, by royal decree by Rama the 4th or 6th, I believe. Has the same colours as UK, France, Russia, and the United States. Ironically enough, bore the same colours as those countries as they declared war, because Thailand declared a war with those countries, and the flag was based on the countries against Nazi Germany. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool flag. I mean, it's pretty simple. So I'll put that in B. Yeah, probably one of the most, controversial flags also. It's Tibet. Of course, is an autonomous region in the Tibetan Plateau, currently claimed by, People's Republic of China, but, there's a government in exile. Used to be its own country until it was, conquered by Mao Zedong. I mean, it's very, located in the Himalayas, has the sun, mountain, dragons, much like Bhutan. I mean, the only criticism, looks like it's a jumbled piece of stuff. Looks like someone designed it in, Microsoft Paint or, Photoshop or something. But, it's a very unique flag. I think Reunion was the only one on this list that had, this sunshine. Of course, North Macedonia also has it, but pretty cool flag overall. Of course, we have Togo. Simple story here. Pan-African colours meant to mimic Liberia. But this probably has one of the most unique aspects of a flag. Its flag is a golden ratio. I don't know what that means, but the formula for it's on the screen. And one of the few flags of irrational proportions. So, I mean, besides that, pretty boring flag. I'll put that in C. Of course, we have Tokaleku, or Tokelau. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Dependent territory of New Zealand. Adopted the flag in 2009, and the flag before this was the flag of New Zealand. I don't know what this symbolizes. I think that's the Southern Cross, blues the ocean, but besides that, put that in C. Of course, we have the flag of Tonga, country in Polynesia. It was adopted in 1875 and has been a flag of Tonga ever since. The Constitution stipulates that the flag can never be changed, so this is the flag forever. It is one of the 20, of course it has the cross, one of the 28 flags. White symbolizes purity, and red, get this, invokes the sacrifice of the blood of Christ, which is shed during his crucifixion. Basic, has the blood of Christ, cross, put that in C. Also, one of the most unknown, interesting, eccentric flags is Transnistria. It's a breakaway region of Moldova. Internationally recognized as part of Moldova. I mean, this flag is from a Soviet era. It's a pretty shit-looking flag, if you do say so myself. I don't think the country will ever get any recognition. It's a pretty shit country, if you ask me. They support, no, not support the alliance of the Russia. I think Russia's trying to invade them, but put that aside, it's a pretty shit-looking flag. Also, we have Trinidad and Tobago. Also has a line. I mean, it's pretty symmetric. I mean, I don't really know the meaning behind any of the stuff on the flag, but much like Tanzania. Ooh, look at that. Ah. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. It's got a diagonal line. Of course, we have another basic bitch one. Tristan de Cunha. It is one of the most remote inhabited archipelagos in the world. Fun fact. And 2,800 kilometers from South Africa. It has lobsters, a ship, and is a basic bitch. Of course, we have Tunisia. Red, Islam, crescent star and moon. Not really that special. Yeah, we'll put it in C. With the flag of Turkey, similar to the flag of Tunisia, derived from the Ottoman flag. Pretty basic, if you ask me. These two are practically the same. It was adopted in 1894, but it still belongs in C. Of course, we have another saucy Central Asian flag, Turkmenistan. This is called the Five Carpet Gules, a rug in Turkmenistan. It's the most complex national flag in the world, and these 5 rugs represent the 5 major tribes or houses of Turkmenistan. The tribes in order are the Teke, the Yomud, the Sarik, the Chaldeur, and the Esseri. The middle design may also represent the Sako-Sala tribe that has declined as a result of million feet from the modern period. Crescent moon, Muslim. I mean, this shit looks fucking. I'm gonna be honest with you. This shit looks fucking lit. I mean, if that was my national flag, I mean, the meaning is pretty good. Besides that, B. Of course, we have another basic bitch, British flag, the Turks and Caicos Islands, located in the Caribbean, British territory. Yeah. It has a conch shell, a lobster, and a melocactus. The melocactus, which is visually similar to the traditional Turkish fez, gave the islands the first half of their name. Pretty cool. It is thought that the lobster present on the coat of arms, Harabrian spiny lobster. Still shit, put that in D. Of course, we have Tuvalu. Of course, it's located in Polynesia, and the name Tuvalu means 8 together, referring to the 8 islands which are inhabited. In October 1995, one of the stars in the flag was removed to conform with the country's name. By January 1996, the flag was replaced with a new one, which was not based on the British flag, but the 8 stars were retained. This flag, however, was not liked by the inhabitants, who felt that it was a move forwards, replacing the popular Tuvaluan monarchy with the Republic. The old flag was reinstated, with all 9 stars being restored. Population pressures have since resulted in the 9th island being settled. I mean, that's pretty cool, but it's pretty basic if you ask me. I mean, I think the stars represent the layout of the islands, but besides that. Also, we have, another Pan-Arab UAE. Pretty shit if you ask me. It was designed in 1971 by Abdullah Muhammad Al Mahana, who was 19 years old at the time. But Pan-Arab colours, pretty basic. Of course, next up we have Uganda. It's got I believe this is the national symbol of Uganda. I mean, the colours are pretty cool. It doesn't have Pan-African colours. Pan-African colours, it's pretty unique. I mean, the bird's a bit detailed, but besides that, belongs in B. Of course, Ukraine, who's been in the news recently. Came from I believe this is meant to represent like wheat, and this is meant to represent the sky. But after further reading, I found out that it was during the Battle of Grunwald in 1410. 2 Polish banners of the Wa and Pruski used flags of yellow and blue colours. So I guess I'm wrong. But besides that, it's a pretty cool flag. It's a pretty cool flag. Pretty simple. Of course, we have this, the Union Jack. What can I say about it? It's very identifiable. It's present on like 30 flags across the world or some shit. It doesn't have Wales on it though. And of course it has the flag of Scotland, England, very easily identifiable. You know, I quite like it. I mean, it is very used heavily on many flags, but I'm gonna get that shit nay. It's very identifiable, associated heavily with the British. Yeah. Also, the flag of Uruguay has the sun of Inti, son of May, based in Argentina, and is one of only 3 official flags of Uruguay, along with the flag of Artigas and the flag of Treinta y Tres. Yeah, it's a alright flag. The sun is pretty cool, but all around it's a pretty good flag. I don't like this, the white, how it, the blue just ends there, but besides that, it's a pretty good B-class flag. Of course, we have the infamous flag of the United States. I think everyone knows what that is. 50 stars represent the 50 states, 13 stripes represent the 13 British colonies, which were the first states in the US. Now, unironically, I quite like this flag. It represents, well, the only flags that, uniquely, but, greatly represents, the past 13 colonies, future 50 states. Yeah. It's a very patriotic flag, very identifiable flag, very unique flag. So pretty cool. Of course, we have the flag of Uzbekistan, another saucy Central Asian one, and probably one of the best, probably the best one. You see, these stars here, you probably can't see it here, we'll probably see it on the one in the middle. The stars represent spirituality and divinity, as well as an allusion to Uzbek historical tradition and calendar. The 12 stars on the flag are arranged in such a way they visually form the inscription Allah in Arabic script. On the 27th of September 2010, President Islam Kamirov signed an amendment to law that banned the utilization of the flag for promotional and commercial purposes, including its usage in advertisements and documents. It also forbade any organizations that are not affiliated with the Uzbek government from adopting its logos that resemble national symbols. So basically, he's copyrighted the entire flag, but the star thing is pretty saucy. God, I feel like my voice is going. Yeah, it's a pretty, probably the best Central Asian flag. Probably the best Central Asian flag. This Allah thing, of course, has the crescent moon, but this Allah star thing is pretty lit. Of course, next up we have Vanuatu. I mean, it has a conch shell, but besides that, I don't really like it that much. Yeah, I don't really know what these colours mean. It's a bit like the Czech Republic flag, but besides that, I don't really like it. I don't know, the contrast isn't really that good. Of course, next up, we have the Vatican City, independent city-state surrounded by Rome in Italy. I mean, yeah, it's got the keys, powerful keys. It's very religious. Vatican City's religious, Catholic stuff. I don't really know. I mean, it's pretty unique. I believe this is a square also, but I don't really know. I mean, the yellow and white look pretty good. I mean, this looks pretty lit. The keys look pretty lit. I don't know. I'll just put that. It's a pretty cool flag. Put in an A. Of course, next up we have Venezuela. Venezuela has the stars. I don't know what they recognize, what they resemble. Of course, got the Grand Colombian colors. I don't really like it that much. No, I'll put it in B. Yeah, pretty cool. Not really good, not really bad. I mean, at least the stripes are equal, unlike Colombia. Of course, we have the Vietnamese flag. Of course, Vietnam being communist, red, yellow star. And I don't really know what to say about it. I don't really like it. It's a bit like the Somali flag right here. It's just basic. I don't really know what to say. And speaking of, flags I don't like, we have another British bitch. The British Virgin Islands. Of course, also located in the Caribbean. Quite interesting history though. This is Saint Ursula holding a flaming gold lamp and surrounded by a further 11 lamps, which represent her 11,000 virgin followers. The islands were named after these virgin followers by Christopher Columbus when he discovered the islands in 1493. Still shit though. Also, we have the United States Virgin Islands, also in the Caribbean. Has the eagle. I don't know what else. I'm going to say. I mean, this represents victory, I believe. This represents the three major islands: Saint Croix, Saint Thomas, Saint John. I mean, it's pretty American. If I looked at that, I'd go, yeah, that was American. But besides that, it looks like a symbol of a US governmental agency or some shit like that. Of course, we have a good one now. Finally, we have Wales. Now, I like this. Look at this dragon. If I saw that on the battlefield, bro, I'd be shaking in my boots. I think the green represents, the fields of Wales or something. I don't really know. But the dragon, pretty cool. You know what? We haven't done this for a while. S tier right here. Yeah, just look at that flag, so beautiful. And of course, we have possibly the worst flag I've ever seen in my life. Wallace and Fortuna. Of course, it's French, as evident by this. Of course, this isn't the official flag. The French flag is. I don't know. It's just a shit looking flag. I don't know what the fuck this is. Don't know what that is. Well, it's of course the French flag, but it's so ugly. Yeah. Of course, we have Yemen. Pan-Arab colours. It's probably the worst one out of all the Pan-Arab ones. So yeah. D. Of course, we have Zambia. Another really appalling flag. This is just ugly as fuck. I don't know what the hell. I mean, it has the African. I believe this is the African fish eagle. I don't know why it's on there. I don't know what this is. This green is ugly as hell. Also, this how it spills over like that. Ugly as hell. Of course, a much better flag is Zimbabwe. Yeah, I don't think you can see it here, but this is a soapstone bird that will represents a statuette of a bird found at the Grand Ruins of Great Zimbabwe. Don't know what Great Zimbabwe is, but it sounds pretty lit to me. It's better than Zambia by a long shot, and of course it has, it's symmetrical, has a bird, has that, much like Mozambique. A pretty good flag. We'll put it in B. Oh, this is where we get to the abysmal flags. Adjara. It's a political administrative region of Georgia. It's just the flag of Georgia with, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stripes. Another abysmal flag is Azad Jammu in Kashmir. It's a region administered by Pakistan, and it's part of the Kashmir region, which has been disputed by India and Pakistan since 1947. What the hell's this? What's this? I know this is the flag of Pakistan. But on a more positive note, we have the Balearic Islands, located on the coast of the eastern coast of the Iberian Peninsula. Of course, it's Spanish. Pretty cool flag. It's probably one of the not one of the best Mediterranean flags, but I like the purple. I like this. I think this is reference to Catalonia, I believe. I could be wrong though. Of course, we have the flag of the Basque Country, autonomous community in Spain. Of course, it's like the Union Jack, but the Spanish version. I believe they speak their own language, and that's about all I know. Yeah, it's probably one of the better ones. I'll put that in A. Of course, we have probably the most unknown one right here, Bougainville, an autonomous region of Papua New Guinea. It's getting independent soon, I believe. They had like a major war. They have like this massive gold mine there. But I think this is, I don't know what this is, or this. sea. It looks like North Mariana Islands a bit, and yeah. Of course, we have the flag of Catalonia. It first appeared in 1082, which is pretty cool. It's a very identifiable flag, but I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, oh, look at that, look at that. You know, I'm putting it B just so I can get that. But all around, they speak, I think Barcelona is the capital. They speak Catalan. I mean, there's independence movements and stuff, so pretty mid flag. Now, we have the flag of Corsica. Of course, it's one of the 18 regions of France, and fun fact, if you place this map on the island of Corsica, the head looks towards France, which is pretty cool. I believe this is meant to be a Moorish man. I believe the Moors were like African people, and I believe this represents his beheaded head. I don't really know why they have that on there. I mean, it's pretty. I don't know. It looks like the symbol of a extremist community or something like that. I don't know. It looks very. I don't really like it that much, but it's pretty cool. Of course, I'm tired. We have the flag of Flanders. They speak Flemish. It's one of the two. Well, there's three. One of the three regions of Belgium. This one's in the north. I don't know what the fuck this is. I think it's a line. I don't really know. I think it's a line. It's pretty unique. Looks like something I'd see in my nightmares, so I'll put that in B. Of course, we have Gaguzia, autonomous region of Moldova, home to the ethnic Gaguz. I don't know. Pretty cool. Of course, we have Jeju Island. South Korea's largest island. Of course, this flag isn't used anymore. It was used from 1969 to 2009. I mean, I don't know. I know what this is. I think this is the ocean. I don't really know. Another really Uzbek flag is Karakul, Pakistan. Kakul, Pakistan, I think it is. It's an autonomous republic. It's just basically the Uzbek flag, except they messed up the stars. So I don't really know. Yeah, and then we have this really weird looking flag. It's also the flag of Jammu and Kashmir. I think it's India's part. It's the flag from 1952 to 2019. Of course, after the government of India repealed the special status accorded to Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370 of the Indian Constitution in 2019, the Parliament of India passed the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganisation Act, which contained provisions that dissolved the state and reorganised it into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir in the west and Ladakh in the east, with effect from the 31st of October 2019. This symbol was used in the former Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir between 1952 and 2019. This is a plough, but it's good, but it's not really used anymore. And honestly, I think anything can be better than this fucking shithole flag. Of course, we have the flag of Kurdistan, autonomous region, home to the Kurds. They've massive land that covers Iran, Syria, Turkey. They've been fighting for independence for who knows how long. I've seen it used by a majority of Kurdish people. It's pretty cool. The sun's pretty cool. Yeah. Of course, we have the flag of Quebec. One of the 13 provinces of Canada. They speak French. Was adopted in 21st of January 1948. You can see the French influence. It's a bit like the flag of Martinique, except the controversy. I mean, it's pretty cool though. I've seen numerous Quebec people use it. It's probably the best out of all the Canadian provincial flags, although British Columbia is pretty good. Yeah, only 5 more to go, guys. We have Sardinia, which is also similar to the flag of Corsica, which is up there, except this is one of the regions of Italy, and instead the heads look towards Italy, and, besides that, St. George's crossed. The 4 heads, I don't really know. I mean, yeah, it's just basically an expanded version of the one of Corsica. It's a Sicily flag. You can even prove yourself, my guy. Oh, no, no. Yeah. Sardinia, I should say, not Sicily. This one's Sicily. Largest island in the Mediterranean. I mean, this one is vastly better than this one. Oh my god. Of course, this is a Trescales. Remember the Isle of Man at the start of the video. 3-man, rational rotational symmetry. This is Medusa. And these are ears of corn. I mean, it's pretty cool. Don't know why Medusa's on there, because if you look at how you turn the stone, so I don't know why you want her on a flag. Yeah, but still, it's a pretty cool flag. It's got legs. Don't really know, to be honest. Yeah. Of course, we have Vojvodina, an autonomous province that occupies the northernmost part of Serbia. I don't really know. Pan, similar to Gaguzia. Pan-slab colours, 3 stars, pretty basic. Of course, we have Wallonia. This is also a region of Belgium. It was designed in 1913. Depicts a red rooster, known as the bold rooster or cock hardy. Of course, they speak French. Or, yeah, on a yellow field. I mean, it's better than the fucking monster on the other one. What was it, Flanders? Yeah, this one. I mean, look. All I'm saying is, let's get these two to fight, and I reckon this guy's gonna win. And now we have the controversial flag of East Turkestan. There is no definition of East Turkestan. It covers multiple areas, but of course is used in the province of Xinjiang, where, numerous genocides are happening as we speak. It's used by the independence movements, and the flag of an independent East Turkestan. You can see the Turkish. It's pretty nice, I'm going to say. When compared to the Turkish flag, it's practically the same except blue, but, I would take this one over that one. And of course, finally, after all this time, we're up to the last one. Zanzibar. Zanzibar is an insular semi-autonomous state which united with Tanganyika in 1964 to form the United Republic of Tanzania. I think it's used, I don't really know, but this is where we get the flag of Tanzania from, up here. See? Yeah, you'll see on the screen right now what I'm talking about, but it's got the flag of Tanzania and the flag that inspired that flag, so it's a bit of a paradox, but I don't think Zanzibar is going to change anytime soon, but whatever. And that finishes the video. I don't know how long I've been going on for. I think like 3 hours at least. I don't really. Yeah, 3 hours, 3 hours and 5 minutes. I hope you saw your flag. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Can't really go back. Yeah, I hope you learned something new today. These are the 4 best flags in the world. If you say anything else, fuck you. If your flag didn't make it to these 2, I'm sorry, but I can't change my mind. But if your flags did make it, shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Bhutanese, the Brazilians, Nepalese, the Welsh. Pretty cool countries. But who knows? Maybe I'll do a remake of this or something in the future. I don't know if anyone watched this video. It's 3 hours long. If people do, shout out to you guys. So to the people of the world, this has been me, Jack, and the flags of the world, innit?